Are we live?
We're live. I'm just waiting. Give me a few seconds.
We're
Waiting for
doing it
everything.
live.
We're doing
Fuck
live.
it.
God damn it! The show starts next month.
Yeah, I know, right? We're sitting here quiet. I'm just looking here all awkward. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm just waiting for everything to be okie dory the way it
I'm I'm
should
I'm,
be.
I'm pretty sure we're live. If you think we're live, let's rock and roll.
All right. How's my audio sound?
Good
Good,
as
good.
always.
All right. All right. So we are live, people. We're a little late, but that's no biggie. We got a big show tonight, as you can tell. We're not alone tonight, so let's just get all the normalcies out of the way. I'm Drew. I'm the part of this establishment.
You are
With
the establishment.
I'm the establishment, damn it.
You are the establishment.
And with
Here's
me,
the
as
wall.
always,
Justin from Spinebuster Tees and SpinebusterTees.com.
yes, sir. And joining us tonight is our crew, is our friends, our very dear friends, our brothers in arms. First, let me start with Mr. Ruben Prime.
Yo, what's going on, people?
Lots going on, Ruben. We got a nice little show to get into tonight. And coming back tonight after you just heard his voice a few weeks ago on our Bash in Berlin review. RJ the Brooklyn Savage.
Yo, what's going on, people?
Ready to
I'm
rock and
excited.
roll.
I'm
We are-
excited to be here tonight.
we're all very excited because the wrestling gods are smiling upon us. It's that time again. It's the PWI 500
Oh,
list, like
man.
it is every year.
Oh my!
The list is always very controversial, so to speak. But we're getting ready to dive into it. I know the top three. I purposely stayed away from the rest of the list to know who's 4 through 500. Obviously, we're not gonna do 500 tonight because that'd be madness. So we're gonna stick to 25. And Justin mentioned we're gonna play a little game. We do like games around here, don't we, guys?
Yeah. So basically, the way the game works is it's gonna be simple. Gonna name two wrestlers, and we're gonna guess on who's higher and who's lower off the two names, and I'll give you their placement, and yeah, we'll probably discuss about them too. So don't have like two or three of them. I probably got I got a little bit over 20 here, so should be pretty fun.
All right, so let's get this started. So usually with our shows, we kind of like to go over the shows like Raw, SmackDown, AEW, yada yada yada. Tonight we're gonna kind of keep it very compact and just primarily stick to the list, but we're kind of just gonna talk about the shows as a whole and just run through it, talk about highlights and anything that came out of those shows that's worth noting. Um, RJ, just kind of give your quick thoughts as to what happened at All Out.
So here's the thing about All Out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did not see the show live because I was not home for All Out.
Understand.
My one of my best friends in the whole wide world had a birthday on Saturday, and we were drinking and partying. So
Nice.
that was more important than watching All Out. But I did watch it when I got back home the next day, and I thought it was a good show. Thought it was a good show. You guys were talking about the lights out match. Could have did without the needle spot, but I thought it was a good fight, especially considering where these two guys are in their feud. I thought the rest of the matches. I, I thought that the street fight between Willow and Statlander was good. I thought that was really good. Osprey and Pac had a really good match that people were surprisingly complaining about that it wasn't too fast enough for them. Nah, but I thought that was perfectly paced, to be quite honest with you. The tag team title match was kind of blah blah, especially considering there's no danger in the Young Bucks' championship reign, especially with a match that was just made a couple of days prior to. Like, there's no danger there. So there's no investment there. Same thing with Okada and the four way. I thought the best thing that came out of that was the face off between him and Takeshita. And every time somebody would get in the way of that, the crowd reacted, in a negative manner. So that should tell Tony Khan that, hey, the people want to see Takeshita and Okada go at it.
And I think they kind of planted the seeds tonight on Dynamite. I know you probably didn't see that, but they did plant those seeds tonight, so they did follow up on it. So gotta give
I comment.
TK credit there for that.
No, definitely. I saw the screenshot of that, and I was like, yeah, take for the win. That's my boy. But yeah, the rest of the show was fine. The heel turn for the BCC at the end, because I was getting confused. I'm like, okay, is Moxley with these guys or is he not with these guys? Is Danielson even with these guys or not? Uh, but they answered all those questions on Saturday, so that was good. And him, as far as him with the bag, I didn't mind that. Fine, whatever. It's on pay per view. Like you have a little bit more leeway to do whatever you need to do on pay per view, especially since I think that you had to do something extreme like that because of the fact that Moxley is regarded to that fan base as a workhorse, even though I'm not personally a fan of his. I think his kicks and punches are very sloppy. I don't know how you can be the best wrestler in the world when your shit looks sloppy, but
Also to add to that too,
yeah, me.
but also to add to that too about the angle with Moxley and Danielson,
Mhm.
AEW, because as of right now, the alternative is WWE and Triple H and the way he's booking shows. He's actually the alternative right now. And AEW for a little bit is trying to become WWE light, and it's not working. They realize they need to push the envelope, and this is one thing. The one thing that AEW will always have over WWE, no matter what, and AEW will always have this is the violence. If they hone into the violence on certain necessary things, kind of like with this here, that's what's gonna push them more for that alternative audience. So I thought,
Right.
again,
It's very
I don't
good.
know if that was necessary. The bag, I wasn't offended by it, but
Me
again,
neither.
that's what makes them the alternative. So
It's
Yeah,
it's
right.
like it's kind of like with Marvel and the boys. The boys is gonna do things that Marvel, Disney can't do. I mean, I know Deadpool Wolverine just came out, but that's Deadpool and Wolverine. What happens when you get to Captain America? What happens when you get to the Avengers? They can't push that envelope that the boys can do, that Invincible or Gen V
yeah,
can do. So
the Deadpool and Wolverine is possibly like Drew and Punk in Hell in a Cell, right? Possibly we may get blood, possibly, right? It's a possibility, right? But like the
Possible.
rest of the roster is just like, to your point, Marvel, regular Marvel. So
yeah,
And look, don't overdo it. Don't overkill it. That's my problem with AEW at times is that they do overdo it sometimes to the point where when when the when we're supposed to go holy shit, we don't go holy shit because it's the norm. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
complain about the blood. I just complain about the lesser matches with no real consequences and no real after effect after the match and after the angles. There's nothing there afterwards.
yeah.
So
Yeah, there's a definitely consistency problem in AEW. Like when they do shine, like it's like we'll say, "Yo, that's really good. That's really impressive. Keep doing that," and then they just stop, fall off, and especially with the violence, like when having blood, having something gnarly, having something just out there, it matters. It's all about the timing and the placement. And then when you go about doing it too much, when you have all these stipulation matches every other week, you have blood every week. You have the joke was Moxley always bleeding, to the point that he goes out there and just do a elbow collar tie up. He's gonna draw blood. So it's like less is more. Like have those moments be more impactful. And um, like Justin was saying, like yeah, like the blood, like hone into the violence, hone into the blood, but don't overdo it. Don't oversaturate it. When you oversaturate things, you turn off people because then they see, oh, it's just that's just their linchpin. Like just bleed everywhere, just do a whole bunch of hardcore matches. So it's like less is more. Timing, placement is important, and we all can agree with that
right,
at least. Yeah.
yeah. Good points from all of you. So let's move on to Monday Night Raw and NXT. Monday Night Raw, the big story to come out of there was after October 7th, going forward until the end of the year, which is the last Raw show on USA. I believe will be on December 30th. Raw will be 2 hours starting then. It hasn't been said if Netflix is going to keep it at 2 hours. I know there's a rumor that maybe Netflix wants to do 2 hours, but that remains to be seen. But yeah, after October 7th, Raw's going back to 2 hours momentarily, which Joe Tessitore, he said very quickly. Like he just said it very nonchalantly. It's like, wait, what? But yeah, the news came out. For a lot of people, that's a good thing. I know me, and RJ, you and me have had conversations about it. You kind of feel differently. I feel differently. But yeah. So, how do y'all feel about Monday Night Raw going back to 2 hours? Briefly.
I'm gonna say if permanent. I'm just gonna speak hypothetically if permanent. So there's two sides to it. I'm on the side of having Raw at 2 hours. It is too much to digest week to week with your content. You got 2 hours of Raw. I'm sorry, 2 hours of SmackDown, 2 hours of NXT, 3 hours of Raw, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keep your shows at 2 hours because at the end of the day, Raw has a bigger roster than SmackDown. Not everyone needs to be on the show every week as well. This will be able to space out, and this is the most important thing. You'll be able to space out and let storylines breathe. You'll be able to let things to breathe a lot better. You'll be able to book show to show with a little bit more consistency, right? You don't have to worry about putting in filler. Okay, you can have, and this will help the talent too as well. You can have, for example, Gunther on the show 1 week and have Gunther off the show for a week, right? This will give talent to rest as well. I think it's a great thing if they go to 2 hours permanently versus 3 hours. Now, 3 hours, I get it, you make more money, but at the end of the day, once they go to Netflix, they have no sponsors to worry about. It's just Netflix already paid them their money already. That's number one. Also, number two, it remains, and if we forget, it looks like it's going to be commercial free for Raw on Netflix. So I think a 2 hour commercial free Raw is equivalent to me a 3 hour Raw with commercials. So to me, at the end of the day, I'll just end it with this. I think it'll be better for the talent overall. It'll be better for production. It'll be better, and I mean also as well. Imagine the show ending at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time as well. I think that'll be great. They don't have to worry about. Lastly, not worry about going up against Monday Night Football in the last quarters. People are still going to be watching Raw because remember what happens after the third hour. What happens after that third hour? The ratings dip.
Mm-hmm.
They dip significantly. So this will help with the ratings. This will help with everything. But again, they're going to Netflix, so does ratings really matter? No, but what I mean. But I think there's a philosophy there. I think it's a great positive thing going across the board. Again, 3 hours, yeah, cool, right? But again, like it's way too exhausting. And Triple H has even said in the past, like running 3 hours of TV is fucking, like, he didn't say it's fucking hell, but like he's basically saying it's a challenge every single week. So sign me up for 2 hours if they do it permanently. I think it's a great idea.
Agreed. I mean, I'm on your side, Justin. Just 2 hours is easier to digest. Like once you get to that third hour, you really do feel it, because after that it just becomes like you're trying to play your greatest hits. You're trying to keep doing the popular thing that happened earlier in the show, and you're trying to repeat it, and it's not as popular. It doesn't go over as well. So, TV shows in general, I don't think need to be 3 hours. As far as wrestling goes, like keep it at 2 hours. That's really all you need. I mean, that's why SmackDown, and NXT are just so easier to digest, because it's just bing bang boom. For Raw, I can see the argument being that not everyone's going to get a time to shine, but then again, not everyone has to be on TV, or not everyone needs to be on TV or should be on TV. So I'm fine with it. I think it does definitely help the show, with better ratings, because that third hour is really what screws them over.
Now,
But
I will say this: there's a possibility I don't want to see it happen, but you got Raw going to Netflix, you got NXT going to CW. Now you got SmackDown, which is this Friday, back on USA. Possibility that USA possibly wants SmackDown for 3 hours after Raw leaves.
That is a possibility.
I don't agree with it, but I'm just keeping it out there. Oh yeah.
Terrible
I,
idea.
nobody's sitting at home for 3 hours on a Friday night watching one show. I'm sorry.
Nope.
You have to have literally no social life for that to happen.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they're not. I was gonna make an equation of Fox, but yeah, it's just like the argument being that that they don't get an overrun. It's like imagine those 3 hours and they don't get an overrun, or they have to bleep out curse words. You know what I mean? I mean, USA is not as bad as Fox, where like
Yeah,
Fox,
no, not at all.
or
It's
like
cable TV.
or like Fox will black out a whole segment because somebody's flipping off, Solo or whatever, or because the whole crowd's chanting "fuck you, Solo." At least USA will just mute it. But Fox is just like, Jesus Christ, Fox, what happened to you guys? But yeah, I said what I need to say. Ruben, RJ, what do y'all think?
Hey, Ruben.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Yeah, I think it's a good move. The other reason why a lot of people aren't like privy to this, but USA wasn't going to pay for the third hour for Raw to stay on during
Right.
the transition to go to Netflix next year. So it makes sense. Like, yeah, you know, we can have you on, but we're not going to pay for the third hour. Like, you're leaving us anyway, so what's the point? So
Mm-hmm.
that, from that business mindset, I get it. But it is so refreshing, even if it's, the short term, have Raw back to, being 2 hours. I think it's a good move. Like, Raw being 3 hours for over a decade, like, like to think about that, how like it's to the point that we're just used to, oh, Raw is coming on tonight, it's
Mm-hmm.
another 3 hour show, and it's gotten to the point that even though we know it's the norm, we still don't like it. We prefer going back to 2 hours. I'm glad it's going back to 2 hours. I think permanently it should stay at 2 hours,
Agreed.
just because we, the shows Raw needs to be tightened down. Less is more. Gibbs, like what you guys were saying, brought up great points. Just having the talent, have them rest. They don't have to be on the show every week. The champion can get a break. Segments that matter,
Mhm.
like having filler, like when you had to book filler to fill a 3 hour show, it's an issue. And the ratings dip for the third hour, like it's a big dip. So I think having the show 2 hours is good for the fans, good for WWE, good for content creators, good for the people watching at home, because it's over at 10 o'clock. Like 10 o'clock, all right, I can just relax for a little bit, rest, get ready for bed, go to sleep, get up early the next day, not have to worry about going to bed late. So it's like it's a positive all around, and I think that it should be permanent, but we don't know. Like, we don't have all the details with the Netflix deal, but just with this news, I'm glad. But let's hope, fingers crossed, maybe Santa will drop that little nugget for us on Christmas. Maybe, who knows? But I think it's overall good move all around across the board. Uh, I just hope it's permanent.
Agreed. RJ, any thoughts?
Uh, well, I'll tell you this: the shows would be better. And I agree with everything that you guys said for the most part. The only thing I'm concerned about is the talent, especially the projects that he wants to try to get over. Repetition is something that is needed sometimes, and I feel like that's the one bad thing about it. especially when you're trying to get over guys like Dragon Lee. You know, there's been a lot of complaints online about guys like him and Dragonoff not being on at months at a time and weeks at a time and stuff like that. That's my only concern, is that certain guys won't get the burn like that consistently. But that aside, I agree, because now it challenges Triple H even more to put together a tighter product and a tighter show.
Mhm.
And Triple H is capable of doing it. I mean, as much as people like to glaze over black and gold NXT, the early stages before that, where he had Rollins and Steamboat and Kruger and Bo Dallas and Cassius Ono, those guys all took turns headlining shows on those tapings. They did 4.
Mike Dalton.
Mike Dalton before Tyler Breeze. Like,
Right.
he had a format where he taped 4 shows in one night, and all those guys that I just listed off took turns headlining those shows.
Yeah.
And to me, that was where NXT was at its best, consistently from week to week, because you had talent being swapped out and everybody had their own story. And by the time we saw them again, he picked off right where he left off weeks prior. And it was nice. So if Triple H can do something like that without fans, obviously not taping 4 Raws in one night, but if he can do that where he can lay the seed for a story, come back to it in a couple of weeks, within like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, so that people don't forget about it, or just run video packages to remind people about certain things and just watch it sprout and then come back to it a couple of weeks later. If he does something like that, I think that'd be perfect for the Raws. But I think this is a good move, and shit, USA don't owe them nothing since they're leaving anyway. So yeah, no, I think it's a fun move. Permanently, I don't know if we're gonna get it. We want it, but I don't think we're gonna get it, sadly. But I guess we'll have to see come January and see what Netflix wants to do. But like I said, I think it's a good move. Challenges him to tighten up the shows and get rid of the filler. Get rid of the filler and really focus on what you really want to do on the show.
Right. Agreed. Let me just kind of skim through everything else that happened on Raw before we hit NXT in the list. It was announced, or a few matches for Bad Blood were announced. Finn Balor and Damian Priest, which we kind of already suspected. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan for the women's title, which we kind of already figured. And also Drew McIntyre and CM Punk for Hell in a Cell, which Adam Pearce announced. It's claimed that CM Punk called him on the phone, says that he wants you in Hell in a Cell. So there we go. We have our what looks like the main event, which it shouldn't be the main event. And there was also a nice, touching tribute to former, who was it, Calgary? I forget the name of the team.
Goudreau brothers.
Yeah, well, no, the guys, yeah, but what was the name of the team? The Calgary what?
Flames.
Flames. There you go. Calgary Flames player Johnny Gaudreau and his brother. I wasn't too familiar with the story until it was literally brought up on Raw. They were hit by a drunk driver. Sami
Happened
Zayn
like
came
2 weeks ago or something like that.
right. Sami Zayn came out during the Bret Hart segment with Gunther and was wearing his jersey. And afterwards, WWE had a nice little touching tribute to Gaudreau, where outside the arena there were people, leaving, flowers and also his favorite Gatorade drink, which I thought was kind of cool. And Jackie Redmond, who has her own NHL podcast, was legit, choking up, because she's such a huge fan of hockey, and obviously that story meant a lot to her. So, classy move by WWE on that. In the past, they would have just like had like a little nice, I guess, title card or whatever graphic, but they
No, in
actually
the
took the
past they
time.
wouldn't have acknowledged it because that's not one of their own, so they wouldn't have acknowledged it at all.
But they acknowledged it because it was a big deal for that country. So classy move on WWE's part. I got a little choked up too watching it. So, but that was basically Raw. Not a bad show. It was actually a pretty good show. But NXT, the very next night, big points on NXT. The debut in WWE of Julia. Julia wrestled Chelsea Green. after last week when she kicked Chelsea Green in the face, which me and Justin, I think either me and Justin or RJ talked about it, where people were bitching that Julia was kind of pulling back her kicks, and it's just like, well, what do you want her to do?
You want her to
But
break
that's
somebody's eye? Y'all want her to break somebody's eye hole? Her first match. Come on.
that's neither here nor there. But I like the match. I
The
thought
people
again,
that are complaining, the same people are complaining probably never even seen a Julia match.
no, I haven't even
Exactly.
seen a Julia match, and I wasn't
I'm just
complaining.
saying, like, I'm gonna call space make, so.
No,
I
no,
never
I
even seen
get,
a Julia match before.
I get you. But again, good debut. Julia obviously looked great out there. I've never seen a Julia match, so I'm only judging what I'm seeing here and what I've seen from her or heard from everyone else. She looked great out there. Didn't look sloppy at all. She had this very cool, as the kids say, aura about her. Like she just
Oh
seems
yeah.
cool.
She definitely
As
does.
I mentioned before, months in advance, like I compared Julia to Nakamura as far as her charisma. So
Mm-hmm.
Like she
Yeah.
just has that personality. Because Kevin Castle did the show with Mish earlier. Shout out to Kev.
Mm-hmm.
Where he said that she kind of had this like aura about her, where like she just doesn't care
Yeah.
who's in front of her. And again, I'm a guy. I got to be a heterosexual male for a second. She's fucking hot.
Mm-hmm.
She's half
Yeah.
Italian and half Japanese. It's like how did that happen? Like how did that? I mean, we know how it happened,
Yeah.
but
they're trying to get revenge for World War II.
exactly.
Yeah.
The access powers are they're
Yeah.
But
realigning in 2024.
Yeah.
but she looked great out there. Chelsea Green, I thought,
Yeah.
we got to give her credit too. Like I thought she was the perfect first opponent for her in WWE. Chelsea Green.
Hey,
And
can I just say this real quick, Drew? Not to cut you off.
go for it.
But it pertains to Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green is an unsung hero in that women's division, in my opinion. She has charisma, has a gimmick. People can pick Chelsea out of a lineup. I think Chelsea does her job very effectively. And she is very selfless, by the way. She will take the bumps to make somebody else look like a mad woman. And that's what she did for Julia here.
Yeah, agreed. We've had this. I think you and me, RJ, had this conversation last week. She's definitely a player coach in some
Mhm.
aspects because she was bumping and selling and working overtime to make Julia look like a star. And because WWE obviously has plans for this girl, for obvious reasons, but she was going out of her way to make her look like a star. I know there's like somebody who said that in some ways maybe Chelsea kind of outshined her. Yes and no. I'm kind of glad I'm glad it wasn't a squash match because that would have pissed me off. I'm glad this was still showing that hey, Chelsea, there's a reason why Chelsea is in the spot she's in. There's a reason why she's always featured prominently on television. Granted, I'd kind of like her to be in a more serious, important spot on top of the card and less of a gag character. But I like the fact that they trusted her enough to say, hey, we like this girl. Everyone loves this girl. We want you to put her over and make her look like $1,000,000. It's kind of like back in the day where, Sean Waltman, X-Pac, was used as the guy to work with, younger talent that came into the company, like the Hardy Boys, for example. Now you got Chelsea Green in that spot of, let's put this new girl over that we signed and gave a big contract to, and we're hoping to make her into a big star. So, hats off to Chelsea Green. She's so far my pick for, underrated wrestler of the year. I think she deserves more credit than she actually gets. But yeah, Julia looked great out there. She looked like a star. Um, I can't wait to see what else she does. But what do you guys think about Julia's debut?
I mean, it was elementary. I mean, I didn't see anything like extraordinary from Julia, but she's a phenomenal wrestler. Like I've been watching her over the last year and a half. So, it was a standard Julia a match, but that's like 50% of what she can actually do. So, are we gonna get the other 50%? I'm not too sure. We may get 20%, 25%, but she's gonna be a fucking big star. I mean, she has the look. Obviously on both ways of wrestling look, and like, she's beautiful, right? She can wrestle, she has charisma. Her English is pretty well, right? She can communicate and you can understand her. So I don't know what more, than you can ask for this sign. And she was number one last year, right, for the PWI top 500 women. So it kind of shows you why. A lot of people are starting to get like, okay, I get it now. Like after one match. So
Any thoughts, fellas?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a showcase for her. Nothing too crazy, but it was effective. It got the job done. Chelsea Green was the first good opponent. She spent time out there in Stardom, so a little bit more familiar to take the bumps from some of the Japanese girls. So to me, that was why she was thrown in the spot, to kind of show the rest of the girls in the locker room, hey, this is what you got to deal with. And Drew, this is where what you said earlier comes into play. Being a player coach, that's kind of what Chelsea Green was, was pretty much using her body to coach the rest of the girls. Hey, this is how you have to sell and move and bump around with this girl. So she was the sacrificial lamb there in that regard. But yeah, no, I thought it was effective, and Julia does have that presence. Julia I think people are going to be impressed with how much she is able to evolve,
yeah.
like just with her looks and the different gimmicks. I don't know, Justin, you remember when her and Thelka was when they were doing the whole mafia thing?
Yep. Yep. That
That was
was
dope.
that was
Mad
like
dope.
earlier this year, no? When they were doing that? Or
I
was that
think
last year? Because well, no, it was probably last year because with like Kyrie was involved with that shit. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, no, that was dope. Like, so she
She has
you need
range. She has
she
range
has
for sure.
range. Yes, definitely. She has range. She's not stagnant. She's not one of these. I'm just here to wrestle, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but she goes for the aura, and will evolve her look, change her look, and will dabble in different looks and gimmicks. So yeah, this is just a start for her, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else she does. The thing is that when you have a girl like that, and then you have a lot of greener girls who are trying to learn, to me, there's a little bit of an issue there because she's way up here. Then you have Roxanne right there, and then you have a big, massive drop off, and it's like, well, where's the competition? We know Delta and Vakir are coming, but I mean, my God, it's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to see how Michaels pieces this thing together, because a lot of his ladies, and look, we love a lot of his ladies, but a lot of the ladies he has don't have the experience that Julia has and Stephanie Vakir and Delta. So it's gonna be,
Well,
I think it's gonna be wide open, man.
do you think like for people like Jada Parker and Sol Ruka, like do you think this is like a cause for them to kind of step their game up when they
Yeah,
see
They don't necessarily have to step their game up.
I
I
well,
mean,
but I
get
no,
better
well,
though.
hold on, listen. They
Hmm.
don't necessarily have to step their game up. They're still learning.
yeah, I know.
Like they're gonna try to, but are they gonna be able to match that? I think whatever happens with Julia, because I think Julia is so good at what she does. Um, I think that whoever she gets put in the ring with, for the most part, I'm talking about like like the Jada Parkers, the Sorukas, the Tatum Paxleys, the Kalani Jordans, women like that on that cusp. I think she will still be able to have good matches and good programs with them no matter what. You know what I mean? Now, once you start getting lower in the tier, like Izzy Dame, I don't know. You know what I mean? Carmen Petrovic, I don't know. You know what I mean? So, like, people who are, like, really down there on that totem pole in the NXT locker room, I think that may be the struggle for her. But I think, like, some of the women there that's getting that experience already, like, that has been there and has been getting it and who's been overachieving, I think she will still be able to have good matches. But, like, the great matches are going to come from Roxanne, Stephanie back here, those women that's gonna be on there. You know they're gonna send women. You know they're gonna send down fucking Oscar. You know they're gonna send down Io. You know they're gonna send down Kyrie. You know that's going to happen. So there's gonna be plenty of opportunity for Julia to really get her feet wet in NXT, not just with the NXT women, but with the main roster women as well.
No, I agree with you, but I'm thinking of this as like an ego thing because at the end of the day, we all have an ego, especially athletes. So I look at this as like I think of a story CM Punk told whenever he wrestled Eddie Guerrero for the first time, and that was in that triple threat match. I think in like ICW or something like that, or IWA, where he famously said, "I thought I was really good, and then I wrestled Eddie Guerrero, and I realized, wow, I actually suck." Like I think of it like that, where like I love Jade. I think she's great. I think Solruka is great. I think uh, Kalani's great. But I look at this as like they see Julia come in, they see Stephanie come in, they see Delta come in, and they look at it as like I got to get better. I got to get like that. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I'm looking at it. But Ruben, do you have any thoughts on Julia?
I think Julia is just amazing, just based on what we saw on her debut match on NXT, and me seeing some of her stuff in in Japan, like like I wanted to see more. And now that she's in WWE, like people are gonna have a front row seat to what she can do, and like what you guys were saying throughout this discussion, like she has that aura, that presence that lets you know, yeah, she's a star, and that will take her places. And her English was good. Like when she had that backstage segment with Roxanne Perez, I was like, oh shit, English was good. So what the dirt sheets were talking about, her English being on point. Like yeah, like she can, for the most part, she can talk. She has that in ring presence. Uh, her wrestling Chelsea Green was that introductory to her, and yeah, she's not gonna wrestle how she was in New Japan. Like you know, like you guys are saying, like you expect her to just cave Chelsea Green's eye sockets, and like, come on now, like gotta slow it down. Like this ain't the Indies. This ain't Japan. Like you can't just kill your opponents. You can't just murder them like that. You gotta like chill. Gotta nerf it a little bit. But it's understandable people having like those concerns about her being like nerfed. But you're in NXT. You're in that WWE umbrella, so you gotta tone it down a bit. Um, I don't think she's gonna be toned down to the point that she's just like nerfed, like just like pillow pads or anything. But I think she'll be fine. Her wrestling will be fine. Her moves like had impact, no pun intended. So I wasn't worried about her being nerfed. But yeah, like I'm excited. And then the other two women come in, Stephanie Bakura and Delta. Like it's a good time to be a fan of women's wrestling, and with just with all these crop of talent that's coming in, like it's gonna definitely uh put a lot of the NXT women's roster on notice. Um, just for them to step their game up, but not to like to keep up with Julia and the other women that are coming in, just to elevate what they can do. You know, just improve what they can do, because you can never, and you shouldn't try to keep up with someone that's going at 100 miles an hour. It's impossible. Just go at your pace, improve what you can do, and down the line, you understand, you'll have you have that ability to show what you can do and improve and be on that bigger stage. So with the other women, I'm not concerned about them. They'll be fine in that aspect. But yeah, I'm excited overall with Julia's debut and the fact that she's in NXT.
Nice. The rest of NXT, let me go through the card real quick. The NXT Tag Team titles originally was supposed to be Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus the Rascals, but due to unforeseen circumstances, the Rascals were taken out of the match. It was revealed that Wesley took out Trey Miguel, and Wesley challenged Zach Wentz to a match on the premiere episode of CW NXT. Was it a last man standing or just a street fight? I think it was a street fight, right?
Not
Yes
too
or no?
sure.
Bueller? Bueller? Okay, we'll say it was a street fight.
I don't know. I don't know. Sorry.
And they're replaced with the Street Profits. The match was okay. It was, fast paced as you can expect. It's weird because like the Street Profits like really just tower over Frazier and Axiom. But during the match, the Bloodline came out and took everybody out, so double disqualification. We already talked about Julian and Chelsea Green, Heritage Cup match, or Heritage Cup Championship. I'm sorry, Charlie Dempsey versus Javon Evans. To me, it started getting more interesting in the 5th round, and then Tavion Heights took out Evans while the referee wasn't looking, and
Right from Japan.
straight from Japan. And then
Beautiful suplex, by the way, my man. Beautiful.
Oh yeah,
Oh, my God.
they were putting over his belly to belly over there in Japan for sure. So.
Seen that. I was watching that strictly for him, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Because to me, Noah really doesn't have any standouts, in my opinion, aside from Kaito Kiyomiya.
Yeah.
So I really don't watch a lot of pro wrestling Noah, but I definitely watched to see what him and Briggs was gonna do, and Briggs disappointed big time, man. How you 6'5"?
Somehow when Briggs went over there with Tavion, I'm thinking Briggs' stock is gonna go up and Tavion may get some buzz, but it's been all like Tavion. They love him over there in Japan. He was getting over there.
Definitely. How you 6'5"? You white guy, you throw a lariat, which you know the Japanese audience, they love that shit, and you don't get over. How the fuck does that happen? And Justin, they even gave him a squash match with the lariat. We killed one of their guys with a lariat, and still nothing.
I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
Speaking of big,
I don't know. That was one of the most shocking things. One of the most shocking things that he wasn't really getting over there in Japan. So,
speaking of big guys, you had Obafemi to challenge a mystery opponent chosen by Tony D'Angelo. It was put up on social media by NXT Anonymous. All you see is
kind of looked like it was gonna be like Omos or Moose or somebody like that.
Which I always thought,
pretty tall, big guy.
I wanted who I wanted, which we'll get into that in a few seconds. But yeah, Tony D'Angelo paid somebody to take out Oba, and it was revealed to be Alexander Hammerstone, or just simply Hammerstone. Which, as you guys have listened to the show, I want that. I believe Justin wanted it as well.
I was the one who suggested it at first.
And then I came in my pants really hard when I saw him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alexander Hammerstone came out. The match itself was kind of not what I expected. And again,
you were too overhyped and you became disappointed because you were so overhyped for it.
I wasn't expecting Oba to lose. I just wasn't expecting him to win so decisively. Yeah. I wanted it to be a little bit more competitive.
I mean, if you've been watching his TNA booking, I mean,
TNA ain't
doing they ain't really changed. They ain't really treating him like a star over there. I'll tell you that.
I mean, they fucking loses clean as a sheet of fucking who?
Mike Bailey,
Eric Young. I was gonna say Eric Young at the fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah, clean as a sheet. He lost the Ultimate X. I'm like, really? You got this guy in the Ultimate X? What the fuck?
Jesus Christ! But yeah, I was happy to see Hammerstone. The crowd wasn't as keen as to who Hammerstone is.
I guess they didn't really know who he was. I can't really,
I think he looks different than when he was hot. He was wearing the jeans and everything, like looked like a rock star. Now he looks like Thor. He looks like Thor again.
I think it's because he cut his hair and he switched to the regular tights. He should have kept the long tights at least.
Yeah, and
in my opinion, I mean, it's not really much of a difference, but He still wrestles good, I think, but yeah.
Oh, he's a good big man and everything like that. He's one of my favorites. Watched a lot of his work dating back from his Future Stars wrestling days.
Yeah.
Him and Cross and Chris Bay and all that other stuff. But yeah, man, I don't. Yeah, I'm confused. I'm perplexed by his whole entire booking from the year 2024 until this point. And Obafemi, he was giving him a little bit of a fit, but Obafemi just killed him, bro. I was like, wow. Mm.
Like I was like watching move like because Hammerstone, did kind of hold his own a little bit. Like he was doing suplexes to Obafemi like he was nothing, and I was like, why isn't the crowd getting hyped up for this? Like, it's like you're seeing this dude who's muscular, a little shorter than Obafemi, but he's still muscular, and he's just like throwing him around the ring like it's really no effort, and the crowd's just like kind of going, yeah.
That crowd loves Oba, bro. That crowd loves Oba, bro.
And I love Oba too, but it's just like I would
Yeah.
just think the crowd would be a little bit more hyped. But
Yeah.
again, a boy can dream.
I just think that his popularity has been shot because of the fact that had he would have been a surprise from out of MLW, I think his reaction would have been a whole lot more better. But being to the fact that TNA ain't doing jack shit with this motherfucking guy,
Which just fucking baffles me. Like he should
yeah,
be
it does
like on top of. He should be like a guy that they build the company around, because he
should have
has
been.
a.
Go
He
ahead.
has a. I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut you off, but like he has a look. He looks like a star. He looks like a mini Hulk Hogan.
Do
You know what I mean?
do you think that in the year 2024, because that's like one of the things that you bring up, like that they look like a star. Do you think that you have this mentality of like of certain wrestling companies are not really looking for that, the big jack guys, they're looking for I guess more relatable people per se, that you can try to build your company around, kind of like a Cody. Cody's more relatable, obviously.
Right.
He's not like super jack. He's a guy that you can see Cody in the gym and think like, oh well, if you don't know anything about wrestling, oh, guy's pretty in shape. But you see like someone like a Hammerstone or Obafemi, or it's like, man, that guy's a fucking monster. Like he does something. He powerlifts. He wrestles something. Do you think that's a possibility of what it is on why they're possibly not pushing Hammerstone?
Maybe that's something to do with it. Maybe they know something we don't. Maybe he's probably has a bad attitude. I don't know.
Maybe
But
I don't know. Maybe he's a dick. I don't know. I don't know.
You're right on the aspect of like the business has changed to where like back in the day a guy like Hammerstone would have been on top of the card.
Oh, this is 1995. Like 1995. Fucking WCW or fucking especially WWF. Like he would have been
Right.
Oh, God, look at those goddamn muscles. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Like, and now you got a guy like Cody. Cody's not exactly a small guy, but he's not big.
He's realistic. He's realistic built. You know what I mean?
He looks like that guy. He looks like a guy that does CrossFit in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like he just looks like a regular guy that you can approach. Oba passes the airport test of like that guy looks like he does something.
Yeah, that dude's a monster, man.
He is a monster, man.
He's a fucking monster. One thing I'll take what MVP said about Omos and I will apply it to Obafemi. If you don't know how to make money with this fucking guy, you are an idiot. Creative malpractice, business malpractice, wherever you want to put it. Triple H should be arrested and fined and fired if he cannot figure out what to do with this motherfucker.
Omos, I can get this business again.
Omos, I can get. He has limitations, blah 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 blah. But Obafemi, no way, bro. There's no way in the world this guy cannot be a star. But Hammerstone, though, I don't know, man. I think I don't know, man. Hammerstone did well in MLW, I think, because of the fact that him, Max, and Holiday, they just fit so well together that they all had a chance to shine and break out while they were all in that dynasty group together. And then Hammer and Holiday.
Hammerstone.
Yeah, and then Hammerstone and Holiday, they were better off for it after they split up. But MJF obviously went to AEW, so
obviously that Tower Reign that cemented Hammerstone right there.
Oh yeah, it definitely did. And him beating the guy that beat Jacob Fatu, who ironically was on the show too. So that was pretty cool. And by the way, how do you not see those two guys on the same show and go, I want to see that match again? Because they had some really good fucking
I'm
matches, man.
pretty sure Shawn Michaels is like wants to move heaven and earth to make that happen.
Oh yeah,
Like
and he should.
was
And he
like that.
should.
Yeah,
But
I'm pretty sure that reunion was pretty cool though. Backstage last night with each other.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But let's move
Mhm.
on. Because we're kind of cutting into time.
Right.
Next is you had Ridge Holland versus Duke Hudson. Ridge won, and then beat the shit out of Duke Hudson,
He killed those.
which Thea Hale was just hamming it up. To the point where again I love Thea, but Thea I think kind of hams it up a little bit too much to where it's a little distracting. Like I think she needs to pull back a little bit, but that's just me. Next is you had the TNA Knockouts Championship. You had Jordan Grace appear on the show to issue an open challenge, and then being Sol Ruka, which so far was a good match overall. Sol Ruka, again, just talking about that women's division, that NIL program. For the past 2 years, like she's somebody that has only been in the business for 2 years. As far as I know, she hasn't been in any other like indie companies, as far as I know. And she's out there holding her own against Jordan Grace, who's been in the business for 15 years. So, I noticed that there weren't any botches. Like she has little to no botches from what I've seen in a lot of her matches. And then during the match, as Jordan's going for the pin, the lights go out, and then Rosemary comes out, and then Undy Chu takes out Jordan Grace. So there's
Which
that.
is
Jordan
leading to this
Victory Road,
Friday here in San Antonio, Texas.
which I'm trying to,
Victory Road,
which I might go to. I'm actually gonna buy tickets. Me and the missus and the sister-in-law are gonna go. So
nice. Yeah, so you're gonna have Jordan Grace versus Wendy Chu on Friday. So Dolph Ziggler and Nick Nemeth, I'm sorry, Nemeth and the Moose and Laredo Kid throughout the pitch at the Missions game, and Nick Nemeth had a autograph signing today as well. So they've been here all weeks.
and there was a vignette earlier in NXT with Rosemary and Wendy Chu, which was there was one part again. It shouldn't have gotten me the way it did because it's cheesy, but like Rosemary's doing the commentating. I just remember I'm watching it, and then Betty walks into the room and she's like, "What are you watching?" And then when Rosemary does the thing, I'm like, "Shit," because I wasn't paying attention. But I like this pairing of Rosemary and Wendy Chu. I've always liked Rosemary. She's always one of those like talents of like, imagine if the regime the way it is now was what it was back then. Like I thought Rosemary would have really fit into Triple H's, talent pool, but that's just me. And then the main event was Trick Williams versus Pete Dunne and a last man standing. I put, as far as my notes goes, I put this should have been a steel cage match. Probably would have made more sense.
Why?
I just thought it made more sense because like the whole point of it was that these two were fighting around the arena and couldn't keep it in the ring. So I just thought it's like for Ava it should have been like, well, since you guys can't keep it in the ring, we're gonna put you in a steel cage match so nobody gets out.
Nah, three steel cage matches in less than a week. Yeah, I'm good.
I just again
Yeah,
personal
right.
taste. The match itself wasn't bad. It was just I don't know. It was just I thought at that point the show kind of peaked, but that's just me. But that was NXT.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna dive in to what we've been to what this whole show's about. The PWI Top 500.
Yeah.
As I mentioned before, we're not doing the whole 500 list because that'd be insane.
No, actually, I'm blowing my brains out.
Shit, by the time we get to
yeah. I'm not trying to be here till 3 a.m. So
Yeah.
by the time we get to like 320, we're like, huh? What the fuck's going on? But no, we're gonna do 25. And then we're just gonna maybe hit some important points, and like we mentioned, or like Justin mentioned, we're gonna play a little game. So let's do this, people. Top 25 PWI. Are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready, Ruben?
I'm ready.
let's
All right, let's do it, people. Number 25, Alex Kane.
So before we should prefacize. I think we need to prefacize first. this list, because not everyone knows,
Mhm.
Drew, Ruben, RJ, that the PWI is based off kayfabe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Solely on kayfabe, and they raise in these criteria: a win-loss record, championships won, quality of competition, major feuds, prominence within a wrestler's promotion, and overall wrestling ability. And the evaluation period is from August 1st, 2023 through July 31st, 2024. So, we should make that clear first. So, in case we're like, well, why is this guy higher than this guy? Why is this guy lower than this guy? That's you want to take that to,
We know the deal.
for the evaluation. But anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Alex Kane is number 25. Entered evaluation period as MLW World Heavyweight Champ. Retained
Mhm.
title over Matt Cardona, Jacob Fatu, and Tom Lawler. Won Action Wrestling Championship from Adam Priest in December. Held on to crown across 5 defenses in 140 days. MLW fans clamoring for his world title match. The Suplex Assassin is his name.
So
Yeah.
he was their number one guy during that time frame, and he's not a bad in-ring wrestler as well. So
Yeah.
who did he lose the title to? He lost it to Kojima.
He lost to Kojima.
Yeah, to Kojima. So
Mhm.
I saw that show, like they had it for free on YouTube on a random Saturday, and I was like, oh, let me sit here and watch it. And that's when he lost it. Well, no, I think Kojima was already champion. I was like, when the hell Kojima became champion?
Yeah. It was before the Battle Riot, which Matt
Right.
Riddle won. So
Yeah.
Matt
Yeah, I
Riddle
think
gets
I think
shot.
that was the show that I watched. It was like last month or 2 months ago, whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah, with Jimmy Wang Yang showed up. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yep. That's the show. That's the show.
Yeah, and Alex Kane fought AJ Francis in the battle of the Boomaye thing, and they had Mark Henry and Teddy
Oh
Long. That was
yeah.
dope. Faye
Yeah.
Jackson, her big fucking southern ass. Oh man.
So,
Yeah, go ahead, Drew.
Alex, I mean, I've heard the name. I just, again, not familiar with his work, but you want to know who he's ranked over?
Do you want to know? So should we ask like if we agree or disagree?
Well, I'm just gonna say who he's ranked over, and then I'll kind of.
Well,
Mhm.
that's gonna defeat my purpose later.
Okay.
I mean, what are you doing? You're trying to steal my thunder here? What's going on?
I'm taking your thunder, brother. No, it's not gonna work for me, brother. No, uh, again, I know what this list is for. You explained it. I can't really get too mad about anything this list puts out anymore. I can only just say what the fuck or question it. In this case, it's neither. It's more just like I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, he's
We know who.
MLW. He's MLW's top guy though, so like I
I've,
can see why. I can
I've
see
heard
why
the
he's on
name.
it.
I've heard the name, but it's just again, I got to go by my taste. I got to
Right.
go by people that are actually on TV and that actually
Yeah, he is on TV. I mean,
MLW.
I'm just saying, just because you like Impact's on TV, or sorry, yeah, Impact's on TV, but it's like, do we watch it enough? Are we familiar with it enough? So I think Alex Kane. Now, honestly, will I have him top 25? Probably not, right?
No,
I
no
can
way.
see why
Yeah, I do too.
he's top 25. So yeah.
Mhm.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Ruben?
I have no opinion because I don't know who this guy is.
There you go.
Okay. All right. So, can I tell you guys who he's ranked over?
Yeah, go ahead.
He's ranked over Adam Copeland. He
It's interesting.
L.A. Knight,
Yeah.
Trick Williams,
What?
Christian Cage,
What?
and Ilya Dragunov.
Oh no, that's bogus. That's bogus. Those guys have had runs on television like you wouldn't believe.
Like I said, I understand why Kane's over 20 at 25. I don't agree with it. I'd probably put some of those guys ahead of him, but
Yeah. No, I'm with you, Justin. He was MLW's top guy, so I definitely understand why he's on it. Not my personal choice, but I definitely get it.
yeah.
MLW had to get one guy on there, and it was him. He fit the suit like Johnny Bravo. So
Number 24,
hmm
Orange Cassidy.
oh boy. Once again, I get this too. Look, love him or hate him. Hey, he was Tony Khan's top toy. last year.
Remember the international title reign he had was he was defending that shit every fucking week.
Yeah, he was.
Week.
True.
And I like the story about how his body failed him in the end.
Yeah.
That's one thing I did
That's the
like about
story.
that.
That was the story behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, his body failed him in the end, and he lost it. So, like,
What's his accomplishments, Drew?
If you want to call him that.
I mean, I know you're so happy to read him. So
Defeated Ray
Boy.
Phoenix, and on October 10th begin second run as AEW International Champion, spanning 13 defenses over nearly 5 months. It was almost as impressive as his first. Found a new aggressive streak, seemingly at the encouragement of Don Callis. Yeah,
that's it.
that's it. That's all that was
Oh,
written.
wow. Okay. I
Um,
mean, I think the 13 defenses. I mean, again, like to my point, I think it's really the title reign that put him there.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I'll put him honestly. I'll have him lower, but you know,
agreed.
top 30, top 35.
Yeah. Number 23, Alex Shelley.
He was a TNA champion.
Yeah, he was
for a while. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But number 23?
Yeah, and all the other work he's been doing on the side too. He's been helping train a lot of guys, and he's been doing a lot of indies and stuff like that. So I can see why Shelly is on this list.
Yeah. Wait, what's his accomplishments?
All right. Final TNA World Champion of the Impact era, enjoying a 218-day run. After loss to Moose at Hard to Kill, re-upped indie efforts. Reigning as champion of Prestige Wrestling and Revolver. Among other titles, respected Matt Veteran appears to be WWE bound.
Yeah.
That TNA title run helped him a ton.
That boosted
I will
him a
still
whole
have
lot.
him lower, but again, we're looking. You're like I think a lot of people look at this as like legit. Again, this is kayfabe, win-loss record, championships won, title reign wins, quadia competition, things like that. So,
all right. Any thoughts, Ruben?
No, like again, with the list criteria, like I get why he's so high up on the list. I mean, we may not agree with it, but I mean, it does make sense. He was the last Impact World Champion like during that time, and all the stuff he's been doing, in the wrestling ring and outside the wrestling ring. So yeah, I get it. I get it. Doesn't mean I agree with it, but again, not my list. My list, your list, everyone else's list will be different. So within the criteria of this list, I understand.
Okay. Number 22, Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler.
Triple A champion.
Yeah, Triple A, fucking over there in New Japan as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like win titles in New Japan, current TNA
Impact.
champion.
Yeah, TNA.
He won championships in 3 major companies. That's you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
can't
That's
scoff at that. Comeback of the year candidate after parting ways with WWE, picked up 2 world titles, TNA Championship and vacant AAA Mega title. During evaluation period, along with a brief stint in IWGP Global Champ, beat Alexander Hammerstone to become the World Series Wrestling title holder in Australia. So this guy's winning a lot of titles. Again, I like Dolph. I've always liked Dolph. I'm glad he's kind of getting a second breath to kind of show that he's again. It's weird because Dolph was stuck in kind of a weird spot when he was in WWE because at one point they were putting him at the top of the card, and then injuries came about, maybe politics came about, which can't really rule that out. Now he's overseas. Now he kind of gets to show that he is more than just a guy that puts over enhancement talent. Like he is a guy that you can build a show around. So happy for his success. And, no, I'll give him this. Let Dolph be in the top 25. I'm fine with it. I can't really say anything negative about it
Well,
personally.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, well, yeah, probably just based off the if he didn't have those, if he didn't go to like two major companies and plus the third one and win the titles over there, like in New Japan and fucking in AAA, like I don't think he would have been top 25 or even top 30.
Right.
So
But any thoughts, boys? Ruben, RJ?
Nah, I echo everything Justin said. He took and nabbed 3 belts, including a fairly new New Japan Championship. So yeah, no, and it's not like his work has been really good. Like
oh, he's been
Dolph
great.
Ziggler, Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, whatever you want to call him. It's still hard calling him Nick Nemeth after all these years, even though that's his name. But um, nah, man, he's never lacking, and he gives you 1,000% in that ring, and he definitely gives it everything he's got in the middle of that ring. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he's doing his thing, and yeah, he deserves a spot on this list as far as I'm concerned.
What do you think, Ruben?
Oh, like, listen, when it comes to uh Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, always been a fan. It was just unfortunate with the previous regime how they handled him. Um, but he had a like a rebirth, new lease on life when he went to Impact, TNA, and New Japan and Mexico. So I I definitely agree with this, with his placing. Some people, again, not everyone's going to agree, and that's fine. But I think this is a good placement for him. Like, and again, it helps that he had a career in WWE and he was able to take that, mold that, shape that into what he has now. And like, hey, you got the ball, ran with it, and he's winning titles all over. He's putting on good performances, and yeah, like it's Dolph Ziggler. Like I'm still calling him Dolph, but Nick Nemeth, he's the man in my book.
Agreed. Number 21, Kazuchika Okada. Shocked wrestling world by leaving longtime home of New Japan, joining up with the EVP pals in All Elite Wrestling, unseated Eddie Kingston as the Continental Champion at March 20th Dynamite taping. Beat Bryan Danielson, Will Ospreay before departing NJPW. Rainmaker clothesline still kills.
Go ahead, Drew.
This is just personal taste. I don't know if he should be this high. Maybe again, we've said this time. We're gonna say this time and time again during this podcast. We know who this list is for. We know who it's made by. It's kayfabe. It's by the journalist, quote unquote. But I'm sorry, Okada just has kind of been. I don't want to say bleh since going to AEW, but he hasn't been what I've been hearing about. The stories, the legend of Okada, and then he gets to AEW, and it's like, yeah, he's the Continental Champion, but it's like, yeah, it's like okay, it's like the Family Guy joke about Debbie Gibson being in Playboy. It's like, yeah, she's naked, but who gives a shit? That's kind of how I feel about Okada.
I have no idea who that is. So
It's a singer from the '80s, but anyways,
I don't know who Debbie Gibson is, but I think this is because Okada hasn't really won any title. I mean, he won the Continental, but I'm talking about like over there in New Japan. So when this was the evaluation period, he wasn't IWGP champion anymore. Had a great match with Danielson at the Tokyo Dome. That's like his last great New Japan match, but outside of that, he's just been over there in AEW. Hasn't really had like a classic yet. I don't really think it's his fault, but again, at the same time, I really think it's like I think they're waiting for the right moment. And they're probably gonna have a fucking great match with Takeshita. But at the end of the day, though, I think he should be lower. I really think it's just based off of a prestige at this point with Okada, why he's at number 21. So he should be lower. Now, I'm not saying he should be like 100 or anything like that. I think he's definitely like for the evaluation period. Again, the evaluation period. I think he's definitely like top 40 for sure.
Yeah.
Too high for my liking.
What do you guys think?
Too high. He's too high. Way too high on the list. He, granted he is a champion in AEW, but just his overall booking. I mean, personally, his booking overall hasn't been like the best. I mean, yeah, he has some good matches, and the whole bitch stick, that gag is, it's funny, has its place, but it's just, I think what Okada is missing is Kenny Omega, and it's a shame that Kenny Omega is, he's out, due to, his, him dealing with his illness and whatnot. So I think if Omega was healthy and he was around, he wasn't banged up, like Okada and Omega would have definitely made some magic, and in the past year if he was healthy, and I think that him being this high on the list will justify that. But since that's not the case, he's way too high.
Way too high. RJ, what do you think?
Yeah, to me, even going back to his last year in New Japan, I thought it wasn't. Besides him bullying Kamehameha, which they never properly,
Great. Oh my god. That was
which
fantastic.
they never paid off. By the way,
Yeah, well.
like they never paid that off whatsoever. But besides that, I thought his last few months in New Japan wasn't really all that grand or anything like that. And then he comes to
I mean,
AEW.
you could tell he was out of there.
Yeah, definitely. Like you could tell the writing was on the wall. He was up out of there. And so far, his AEW run, not so much, bitch and middle finger and simping over Sasha Monet Banks, like that's pretty much it. Yeah, it just and I'm with you, Drew. I haven't seen the matchmaking machine Okada, but when you're getting paid $11 million, is that the rumored number? 11, $12 million?
Sure. Yeah.
When you're getting paid that kind of money off your name alone and your past accomplishments, I would probably come over to America and phone it in too if I was Okada.
I
but
mean, like he's done all these classics over there in Japan. Like, what does he got to do over here in America for? Like,
no, I agree with you. You can't,
it's
and you
like
can't.
it's like to me, it's like if you want the old Okada, go watch his old matches. Like,
And no,
he's
I
here
agree.
for the sports entertainment. Like it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's like, well, this guy has no character. Now he's showing character, and like he's putting that first instead of what it is, and people are like, oh, I don't fucking like it. You know what I mean? Well, it's like, well, what the fuck do you want?
Don't get me wrong. I have fun with Okada. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
for sure. Yeah.
I agree with you too. You can't have that match every week. It's not realistic. Your body is going to be shit. All right.
His body's already shit because of what he's done over there in Japan.
Yeah. Him and Osprey. That's why I get so concerned. Osprey had kinesio tape on his neck and back tonight.
Oh, well,
So
I mean,
the thing is, you can't have the New Japan classics every night. Save it for the pay-per-views. But even at that, I just feel like Okada hasn't
had that great. He hasn't had that one-on-one
great
match yet. It's been mostly like tags and multi-man matches. So I think this one with Takeshi, I think we're really gonna start to see what Okada, what the American fans like. Okay, oh, I see it now. I see.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Takeshi is the perfect guy to get it up out of him for sure.
It's gonna be a New Japan match, pretty much. That's all it's gonna be.
And hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yeah,
but I don't think Okada should be high on this list like that. Don't get me. I like Okada. I think
I love
he's
Okada.
And I like what he did. Like he took the L in TNA, the L that they gave him, and he went back over to Japan and he created a name for himself, a gimmick for himself, and he had a look and a presence to himself, and he got better. He got better and became a top guy. So you got to respect the hustle of Okada. But yeah, I just don't think he should be high on this list, man. Not this time around. Sorry, Okada.
Trust me, guys. I think it's about to get worse.
Oh my God.
All right, Ruben, if you have any old fashioned, you might want to take a swig. Justin, take a swig of your water. RJ, if you have anything to drink, take a swig. Number 20. You ready?
Yeah, good.
Eddie Kingston.
Well, good lord, but I get it. I get it though.
I'll
I
have him
get it.
over Okada. I'll have him over Okada. Yeah.
Over Nick Nemeth, over Adam Copeland, over LA
Well, you
Knight,
haven't
over
seen Nick
Trick
Nemeth,
Williams,
and mostly what he did in TNA New Japan. So
Christian Cage, Dragunov. I don't even like Adam Page, but he's ranked over Adam Page.
Cage was gone during that period.
I get
He
it.
was gone a long time during that period.
He was the
He
Continental Crown.
was the Continental Champion. He held 3 belts.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why.
That's why I don't. For the record, I don't agree with him being inside. But what I'm saying for the list,
For the list, yeah. For the list sake,
for the
it makes
criteria,
sense.
like I mean, I think he'd probably be top 30. I think 20 is too high, but like he's in this range for sure. He's definitely over Okada, 100%.
Accomplishments. Sentimental favorite and forever underdog. Lived up to the potential by taking the inaugural Continental Classic round. That's too many fucking words. Retained NJPW Strong Open Weight and Ring of Honor World titles, which he defended in the Classic to take AEW Triple Crown. Earned Bryan Danielson's respect by defeating him at Revolution.
Boy, like you beat Bryan Danielson. You
Mhm.
put your title on like during the Continental Classic, which was to me that was like one of the most positive things about AEW during that low time frame was that Continental Classic.
Yeah, it was
And
fun.
he beat guys like Claudio and Danielson and Takeshita and who else was in there? I think Andrade was in there. Like, yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Right. Based off all that alone, it makes sense. Like I said, Drew, we don't agree with it, but like it makes sense.
Yeah, like again, I wouldn't have him top 20, but like if you're looking at accomplishments, like
It's big.
you're
But-
asking for Nick Nemeth, but you haven't seen his New Japan stuff to actually, clarify that. So, I mean, it's to me, I think him, Nick Nemeth, Alex Shelley, Alex Kane, probably even like you mentioned like Ilya Dragunov. I actually have Ilya above all those guys actually, but
Mhm.
I think they're within that same bucket. You know what I mean?
Ruben, what do you think?
Oh boy. Yeah, like again, with the list criteria, I understand why Eddie Kingston is up this high, but
Ooh, shoot.
um I mean still is way too high on this list. Like,
Yeah.
and to be honest, the I'll say that the Continental title has, I mean, way more prestige than the other two belts. Like, it's just with
Yeah.
issue with AEW making new belts, then integrating the ROH belts onto AEW programming. Like, that's always been my critique, is that they just have way too many belts. So yeah, it's impressive, his win over Danielson, him putting up those 2 belts during the Continental Classic. I get that, but I just don't agree. Like, just all things aside, it's just he's way too high on the list.
Number 19, Mustafa Ali.
He was undefeated. He went to the Indies and he was undefeated, and he barely just lost. He did not lose a single match since he went to TNA during this evaluation period.
Highly creative post WWE campaign swept Indies by storm, earning Ali a PWI cover June 2024 and his highest 500 ranking to date. Packed buildings worldwide with a 5-month undefeated streak, unseated Chris Sabin as TNA X Division champion at No Surrender.
He's within this range. I don't disagree with this.
Yeah, no, he's been tearing it up. I've seen a lot of his work and stuff like that. To me, he irks me with a little bit of his whining sometimes, but as far as his work goes and the campaign stuff, like he has a gimmick and he's sticking to it, and he's been all over the place, and to be fair, he's made sure he's been booked in a nice manner. if not a straight up dominating
He had a
manner.
fucking tremendous match with Speedball Mike Bailey at that pay per view a couple months ago, or last month, whatever it was. Victory,
Hard
it
to
was
kill.
anniversary.
Slammiversary.
That
Yeah.
was a tremendous match.
I thought it was hard to.
Absolutely.
Oh no, I'm thinking about another pay-per-view. Never mind. Yeah, Slammiversary. Yeah, yeah. Okay, fine. I'll give him this. I'll give him this. Okay, yeah, fine. It's gonna, man. It's
Drew not,
gonna be.
Drew not fucking with it.
I'm not gonna argue anymore. I'm just gonna groan and move on. Ruben, what do you think?
Uh,
Oh man.
I with Mustafa Ali being this handleless, I mean, I don't have no complaints because at least he was undefeated. He won the X Division title. He was turned up in the Indies, and mind you, left WWE, went to the Indies, went to TNA, made a name for himself. So I can see him being within the list criteria. I can see him, him being on so high in the list is justified. I mean, little notch lower, but that's a personal pet peeve. But I mean, Mustafa Ali over Eddie Kingston, to be honest, is just. I mean, it just makes sense. Mustafa over Eddie, in my opinion.
Number 18, Hijo del Vikingo.
This is my first hard no.
Yeah,
Not
no,
because
he's been injured.
well, I'm gonna tell you why. The only
Mhm.
reason why, because I like the King. I think he's uber talented, but he's been injured. he's been injured since like the beginning of the year. So like no,
This
18 no.
this seems like a favor because the PWIs has such a boner for this guy. Like he has been in the top 5 for the past 3 years, and
Yeah.
it's like I remember MJF being like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Like, why is he in the top 5?" But yeah, just looking
Well, I
at
mean, Julia was number 2 last year, and people were starting to see, just off one match, seeing how great she is, but people didn't know who she was.
yeah, I was even
Yeah.
like, "Who the fuck is this girl?" And I had to be like, "Justin, explain, elaborate." But
I mean, there's a
accomplish.
reason for everything. Like, people are just not that high just to be this high. But in this case, this year, no, because he was injured. He was injured since March, February,
Spring, 833-day reign as AAA Mega Champion ended.
that
Sadly-
does help.
Sadly, by injury, out of action since the spring, but continued unreal crash and burn performances for half of the evaluation period. Defended Mega Championship in US, Mega in Australia via Ring of Honor, AAA, and Game Changer Wrestling.
I don't agree with it. I don't
Me
agree with
neither.
it. I think
Me
he should be lower. Now, should he be like 200? Absolutely not. He'll definitely higher than that. But he's top 50 for sure. I think they evaluate how can you really put him that high if he hasn't been around for half the year?
Yeah.
That's
To me, he's not even the best luchador in the world. I'm sorry. He's not even the best fucking. He's not. He's just not. I put Bandito miles ahead of him, and now Bandito's been out with injury too. But Vikingo to me is not better than fucking Bandito.
I really
I'm
like
sorry.
Bandito too. Yeah.
Bandy does it all, man. He's just not the flippity. He can do the flips, and he does his flips very, very well. But Bandito's got he's got a deep ass bag, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that guy. That guy, he's so good that he won Morgan over him. Morgan is more of a Darby Allin, Jeff Hardy. I will kill myself for this business type girl.
Yeah.
But even she loved Bandito.
Yeah.
So yeah, just crazy shit. But yeah, I don't agree with that. He's been injured. That's an automatic disqualification in my mind. Sorry.
Ruben, what do you think?
Way too high. I mean, he should be in the 100s, to be honest.
All right. Number 17, Jey Uso.
Oh, good lord! But
I
yeah,
mean, I'm not a huge fan of his single run, but again, I'm
He's
gonna be
over.
honest because that's the way I am. I'm straightforward both ways. he deserves to be in this general area.
I mean, again, I'm going by my, I guess, how I rank people. He's over. He has a catchphrase. Whether you think it's cringe or not, people still chant "yeet." The guy gets a huge reaction anytime he comes out. However you view his wrestling is how you view his wrestling. Is he the best wrestler? No. But the guy sells merch. The guy moves merch. People chant his catchphrase.
He's been one. He's been involved in the most important storyline in WWE in the last 25 years. So
Yeah, and they push the shit out of him. Like
And
and
he's an emotional core of that story too.
yeah, like people love him. They buy his merch. So I'm not gonna wear Yeet glasses, but people are gonna buy Yeet sunglasses. So
I get asked all the time how many Jey Uso figures and t-shirts I have. Like I have nothing to Jey Uso. That's how popular he is. You know what I mean? Like
so
So
Yeet. But yeah. Ruben, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, Jey Uso being at this general area of the list, mind you, within the list criteria. He's over merch seller. He's been in the top storylines in one of the top storylines in WWE history, and he again he's just over. So I get it. Me again, people may not agree. He's not the best wrestler. I mean, I don't really look at Jey Uso for being just a general in the ring, but just his character, his personality, his catchphrase, there's everything else, and just the fact that he's that glue that held that bloodline storyline, together. Sami Zayn and just everyone that he orbits is important. So I think him being on this list where he's at makes sense.
Number 16, Sonata.
yeah, he was IWGP champion a long time during that period.
Mhm.
I like God, man. Like I love Sonata when he was in Lij, and
Me
he had
too.
he had a way better look than he does now. He's so generic now. He's more boring now, and I hate it because I actually like Sonata, but
I
moving that
definitely
to the
agree.
side, looking at his body work. I mean, he was at I was gonna say Dynasty, but he was at Forbidden Door, right?
Yeah.
During that, no, that was last year. That wasn't during this time period.
So
But
don't.
he was champion during that time frame. And he was putting on good matches in New Japan. I think he's too high. Probably 25-ish, 30-ish. But I think he's too high.
Reign with the IWGP World Title continued until Wrestle Kingdom 18.
Yeah.
Lost to Naito. 9-month stint included successful defenses against Jack Perry, Yoda, Tsuji, Evil, and Takahashi. Surpassed Perry and Yoshihashi in the New Japan Cup. Seeks submission victories with Skull and Dragon Sleeper.
Yeah, the skull end. Yeah, no, I love Sonata. Justin once again echoed everything you said about him. I loved him better when he was in Lij. Like the Cold Skull Sonata. That
Oh
was
man, his look was
dope.
incredible, man.
I love how his looks always evolved too. Like he would have the spiky hair, and he'd dye it, then the
The
mask.
fucking beard with the blonde beard and kind of looked like a kind of like one of those English, like I don't know how you say it, like those English guys from like the fucking 1500s, elegant,
Aristocrat. Yeah, the
yeah,
aristocrat.
yeah, like
Yeah,
oh my
yeah,
god,
yeah. The
he
jacket.
looked
Yeah,
fucking incredible.
yeah. Nah, he was mad dope. I don't
Yeah,
like
again,
just.
that's my guys, kind of,
Yeah.
it's
I don't like
all
it.
this character away.
I don't like that faction. Period. I just think that those guys are all just boring and have nothing really to really offer. But yeah, I really don't like this serious Sonata. I would wish that New Japan would do a redo and put him back in Lij, especially since Naito's on his last legs.
Yeah,
But nah, I don't agree with him being high on this list like that either. Like I agree with Justin, maybe 25 because he was the champion for a good bit. But nah, I don't agree with this either. And I like Sonata too, but
oh yeah,
hey,
I love
we got to call it like we see it over here.
Yeah. Ruben, what do you think?
No opinion. I haven't been following Sonata like that. So
Same. I mean, I've heard the name. I can't place him. I'll just leave it at that. Number 15, Moose.
He was TNA champion for a fucking long time during the time period. He just lost it. Like probably a month before the time period ended. So, I mean, he's been getting better. He's been getting better with time. Like he was so green when he first started, but he's been getting better. But I roughly agree with this spot.
I can't really snub at it too much. It's fine. He's fine. He's fine where he's at. I can't really argue with it too much. What do you got? What do you think, Ruben?
yeah, he's been killing it in TNA, and he was Impact champion for the longest time right before that threshold for this list. So yeah, like I have no complaints. Like he's gotten better. Like comparing him to in the beginning when he first came in during that weird time Impact Wrestling to now, I was like, yo, like this dude's amazing. Like this dude has elevated his game. But yeah, I no issues with this list placement. Personally.
RJ, any thoughts?
Who do you guys? Who's up?
Moose.
Number 15.
Moose. Oh God, as Monty calls him, bootleg Terry Crews. But nah. Personally, I don't care for Moose either. But he's a top guy in TNA. He was champion. He was in the mix. It seemed like at one point they were never going to pull the trigger on him, but they did, and he ran with it. He ran with it. Got to give him respect for that. Got to give him credit for it. Uh, One of the top recognizable names on their roster, as scarce as it is, in my opinion. But yeah, well, it's fine. I don't. I can't hate on that. Like I said, Impact's got to get. Impact has to have their top guys on this list somehow, some way too. And he's a guy that fits the bill, or one of them at least.
All right. Number 14,
Uh-huh.
Brian Danielson.
He
Wow.
was injured during that time frame. Some of the time frame, then he came back. Despite that, he should be top 10. No ifs, ands, or
Agreed.
buts.
Agreed.
Just by his match quality alone.
Mm-hmm. Danielson never phones it in. Danielson to me
Just by
can't
his
have a bad match.
quality alone, he should be top 10. I'll just keep it at that.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we're going by what this list is all about, like Brian Danielson, like put him in the top 10. Just put him at 10. Just put him at 10. We already know who you want to put at the top 3. Like I already know who the top 3 is, but like just put Danielson at 10. Like why the fuck not? Like come on. He's everything that these journalists like jizz all over. And I love Brian Danielson. I'm just agreeing. Just put him in the top 10. Like put him at number 10. Like who gives a fuck? Come on. Ruben, what were you going to say?
Yeah, like agree. Like it's Brian Danielson. Like everyone loves him. These wrestling journals just cream over wrestlers like this, and he's at number 14. I definitely think he should be in the top 10. Like no ifs, ands, or buts. He should be number 10, or around that top 10 area. Like anything less is just what the F. But again, not my list. At the end of the day, is not my list. But again, like everyone loves Brian Danielson.
Number 13, Drew McIntyre.
Too low.
Agreed. He should definitely be in the top 10. Drew,
I will
in the
argue
past,
top 7 or 8 for sure.
Drew's been on the best run of his career. He's been the most interesting he's ever been. He definitely has been putting on better matches. Definitely should be in the top 10.
Well, again, during the evaluation period, I'm just the only thing I will throw out there. He didn't really start amping up until you turned heel, and that was after in January. But despite that, regardless, he should still be like top 10, but at least in my opinion, top 7 or 8 for sure.
Agreed. What do you think, Ruben?
Yeah, like Jesus, Drew McIntyre's been on his greatest run, and even with before with the list, the criteria of this list, like still he's been more interesting, much more entertaining. Matches been on point. Just his overall presence, like when he's on your TV, you're like, all right, like what he's gonna say, what he's gonna do, who he's gonna kill. So
Right.
I he should definitely be in the top 10. Like again, it's like it's McIntyre, but again, not my list.
Nope. RJ, what do you think?
McIntyre should definitely be on top 10, but do you think that the reason why he's not on the top 10 list is because the fact that he didn't win the championship
That's
all
what I
those
was thinking
times?
too. Yeah, because he didn't win any like major world titles. That's probably the reason why he's down there.
Because we got to
If
think
that's
about this.
criteria, then
Yeah,
you know,
like the accomplishments
Yeah.
help with that's a part of the criteria
yeah,
of how we put this thing together. And I think
excellent point.
maybe the fact that he didn't win the championship those times might have held him back a little bit. But as far as everything else, though, the quality of work, I mean, Drew McIntyre's in-ring work has never been an issue. One of the best in the world. His matches look believable, hard hitting. I fucks with McIntyre heavy, and the fact that he has a daring attitude to him now and carries himself very well. McIntyre should be top 10 based off all that alone, but I get why he's not. And once again, to quote Ruben, not my list.
Yeah,
I hope I
but
did you proud,
that's an
Ruben.
excellent point of him not winning a title. That exactly makes sense why he's where he's at.
I mean, he was champion for like 5.5 minutes, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, are we?
I mean, they're not gonna count that, Drew. Come on.
I know. I'm just.
I know you're trying to make sense of it, but just let it go.
I can't let it go. God damn it! I need to point out some logic. It's still full to me. God damn it. No. Number 12. Number 12. Sami Zayn.
Intercontinental champion during that way, beating Gunther.
Mhm.
I well, honestly, for the list itself, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I personally will have Drew McIntyre higher, but for the way that the list is constructed, it makes sense.
I love Sammy. I love Sammy.
Second that.
I haven't seen the top 10, so I need to kind of brace myself for what I'm about to witness. But yeah, like you said, I put Drew a little higher, but Sammy beat Gunther.
Mhm.
Beat Gunther's
How
666
deserves that
day
top
reign.
15, in my opinion.
No, he'd be my top 15, depending on what I see in this list. But yeah, I love Sammy, and he's about to be in a world title match at a pay-per-view. So,
Yeah.
what do you think, Ruben?
Sammy being number 12, yeah, like again with this list and how it was like organized, he should be higher considering that he dethroned the longest reigning IC champ in in WWE history. But with the other people you have on this list, yeah, like I get why he's on. He's at where he's at on this list. So no complaints from me. But again, if I made a list, it'll be a little higher. But it is what it is.
And RJ, thoughts?
Yeah, man. I just think that he's right where he needs to be. For obvious reasons that you guys previously stated, beat the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in company history. Um, Beat him in a really good match, by the way. Had a really good feud with Gable afterwards and stuff like that. So Sami Zayn has done quality work and his promos are really good, very passionate. I think Sami Zayn has looked really, really good. And I think he's a guy that's benefited a whole lot from Vince being gone.
Yeah.
Because I think everything he's done ever since then, ever since Triple H has taken over the book, has been really, really fun to watch, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with Gunther heading into Bad Blood. But and I think Sammy's right where he needs to be. Maybe I would argue maybe a little bit more higher, but I think this is nice for Sammy though. A nice spot. I can't complain with it.
No. Number 11, Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
Samoa
he's
Joe.
had a renaissance of his career during that time frame. He defeated MJF. Yeah, I mean during that time frame became AEW champion. I mean, I and also during this time frame, I believe, or it may have been actually it may have just been right after he just because I think All Out or I'll say All In happened maybe like a couple weeks before this happened, but he had that great match with CM Punk. So
The infamous match with CM Punk.
yeah, but yeah, I mean I somewhat agree. Honestly, maybe a little bit lower, a tad bit
Yes.
lower, but he did end the longest AEW title reign of all time too. So there, I mean, so there's also that, but probably a little bit lower, maybe 15, 17.
I'd put him at 15. I love Samoa Joe. And yeah, he had that career renaissance, being the I was gonna say TNA AEW World Champion, beating MJF. He's been out for he was taken out of action by Jericho in that match. I know he's filming the new season of Twisted Metal. Yeah, again, I don't know if he should be this high though, but yeah, I would say top 15 easily. Just put him at 15. But what do you guys think, Ruben? What do you think?
Yeah, he should be lower, but considering that he beat MJF, longest reigning AEW champion, it does make sense for why he's so high on this list. But yeah, he should be just a notch or two lower. But and Samoa Joe, when he was champ, he was like doing like some of the best like TV work as champion. So, and it's a shame that his reign wasn't long enough. But I mean, for the reign that he had, like it was like interesting. Like you wanted to tune in to what was going on in AEW TV.
And RJ, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely agree. Samoa Joe career renaissance and everything like that. Joe with the best hits. I mean, Samoa Joe is so simple to book, and he's a bad man, and he's very believable. I think he's a guy who definitely makes me want to see what he does next.
Yeah.
For promo, like his promos, he be dropping bars, man. And the reason why I like Samoa Joe's one of the reasons why I like his promos so much is because of the fact that he does drop little shout outs to like rap and stuff like that. And I'm like, I feel you, Joe. I see you and I hear you, dog. And Joe, he does 9 times out of 10 whatever he says he's gonna do. So he's a bad man. You take him at his word. But I thought his AEW World Championship run, although it wasn't the longest in the world, it was fun. It was fun, and I can't wait to see Joe back on TV. Definitely, I think deserve it. I think he deserves a spot.
100%. Yep.
All right, the top 10. We're at the top 10, and we're probably going to be saying not my list with a lot of these picks, but you be the judge. Number 10, Mystico.
I mean, he's been champion for fucking 6 years.
Yeah, got to give him that. And
Over Sami Zayn, over Drew McIntyre, even over Samoa Joe.
Did you just hear what I said? He's been
he was champion for 6 years.
6 years. He has a 2008 title ring with this fucking NWA belt.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's had somewhat of a career renaissance as well.
Yeah,
So
he's actually like, yeah, he's like kind of looking like his old self.
yeah, his
Like,
pre WWE
before he came WWE, yeah, he's kind of like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Again, like, does anyone really know about I think it was like the NWA historic, middleweight championship? Not really, but it's a 6-day title reign. According to this list, what's one of the things that they take account of? Title reigns, you know what I mean? Championships. Yeah, so they take account of that, and the fact that he's actually like good again.
Yeah.
Again, why have him top 10? No.
No.
I understand why he's top 10, But I want him top 10, top 25, top 30, around there, sure.
Yeah,
But
fair.
but again, they're taking account of a fucking 6 year title reign.
Justin, isn't he one of Mexico's top draws as well too?
Oh, absolutely he is.
So boom, you got to factor that in.
He's one of the top Mexico draws of all time.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to
Of
take
all
that into
time.
consideration. And also, too, he had a MLW middleweight championship run. I think he might even still be the champion, right?
I don't know about that one. He may be, yeah.
Yeah. So I know he was middleweight champion.
I'll look
So
that up
yeah,
real quick.
yeah. Look that up for real quick because I know he had some gold there as well. I know he had the tag straps
He
too.
is the current champion there. The middleweight championship, 196 days.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, once again, those are those achievements, the accomplishments. Got to take all that into consideration. Like I said, not my personal, not somebody I would put on my top 10 if I was constructing this list, but for the
6 years is
criteria.
fucking 2018. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's fucking. That's when Trump was in office the first time.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, you know how long that fucking is?
Oh man.
That's Roman's reign times 2. Like,
Oh, man. 2018. I was in darker times around that time. My God.
yeah, like, come on.
God damn
Like,
it.
what were we doing 6 years ago? You know,
I graduated from UTSA.
that puts it in perspective. Like that, it should put it in perspective. Again, I don't agree that he's actually number 10, but I understand why he's number 10. I'll just keep it at that.
Yeah.
Ruben, any thoughts?
Mm.
Ruben,
Whoa.
It's probably no.
Ruben's like, no, I have nothing to say.
did we lose Ruben?
No, he's still here.
Oh, I'm here. Sorry.
Oh, there
sorry.
you
Sorry. I didn't know he was a champ for 6 years. Like that's a long time. But again, like I wouldn't have him this high. But again, with the criterias of the list, gotta remember that. Always gotta keep that in mind. I get it. I understand. Like that's impressive. Like, you guys were talking about like his, his title reign, his current title reign. But yeah, not on my list. not on my personally. But I get it. I get it.
Ooh, number 9 is kind of pissing me off. Gunther.
I gotta see the rest of the list, but as of right now, he should definitely be top 5.
Oh yeah,
At least.
I agree.
At least he should definitely be top 5, 100%. Not gonna. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I can't spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I see who number 8 is. I'm about to fucking chuck my phone across the room. But continue.
No, I was going to say. I mean, longest reigning.
Moxley would probably be the one that'll have you do that.
Longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, King of the Ring, World Heavyweight Champion. Like, how does that not constitute putting somebody in the top 5?
Yeah.
Like,
I gotta see the rest of the list, but he should definitely be top 5 for sure.
All I'm saying is I'm gonna go on a rant, and I'm gonna need you guys to just let me rant and rage in peace.
Right.
Ruben, what do you think?
He should definitely be top 5. His entire WWE career, Gunther has been in his entire WWE career. 75% of that time was him with a title, with a title. Longest reigning IC champion, and he's currently World Heavyweight Champion. Not because he's in WWE or the Fed, as they say, but dude, he's someone that the indie darlings love, but some reason I don't know. It's just this boggles the mind. But he should definitely be top 5 with all his accomplishments. I'm just saying.
Agreed. It's Gunther. Come on. Gunther should be in everyone's top 5, but what do I know? It's not my list. Number 8. Hold on.
Oh boy.
I need to drink my tea.
Uh-oh. He's about to burn it down.
John Moxley.
Oh,
I was right.
Okay.
I totally disagree with him being that high anyway. So yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad you agree with me on that. So, what is everyone's fucking boner with John Moxley? What is everyone's boner with John Moxley? When he was Dean Ambrose, I'll take Dean Ambrose over John Moxley all day, every day. He could at least have cohesive wrestling matches that made sense. When he became John Moxley, all of a sudden it was like, John Moxley did this. John Moxley bleeds. John Moxley had a death match of death in a surrounding fire of death match. John Moxley wrestled Kaita Naiko Fuddy Juddy Maduddy Duddy. John Moxley's the wrestler of the year. John Moxley does this. John Moxley's a badass. Like, fuck John Moxley. Fuck him. He sucks. He fucking sucks. My cats are tougher than him. Fuck him. And fuck people who rank him over Gunther. Okay, rage rant is over.
I will say this: your argument is invalid. You're saying you hate John Moxley just based off of you hate John Moxley, not giving a reason why based off this.
Because he sucks. He has bad wrestling matches. I'm sorry. Continue.
Now, do I think that he should be ranked over Gunther? Absolutely not. I think John Moxley should be ranked in the 30s. I think, but here's the thing: if we're talking about win-loss record and championships won and his quality of competition and what he did on AEW TV, him being heart and soul of AEW, he deserves to be on this list in a high fashion. Top and out of 500, top 30 is nothing to sneeze at. So I will say that, number one. Also, number two, again, I don't agree with this whatsoever. Gunther should be higher. I think if this is my second hard disagree. Versus Vikingo, second is John Moxley. Both should be ranked way lower than what they are. Most of these other guys, I'm like, okay, maybe I see why. I don't understand why John Moxley is this high. Based off what he did during this time period, he was, having great matches on AEW TV, but great matches don't get you, too much anywhere. He has won championships as well, but wasn't really anything Tyrants that we really much remember. I mean, he did beat Orange Cassidy at All Out. Tyrant didn't last very long because of the fucking concussion angle. It was it wasn't an angle. I'm sorry, it wasn't an angle. He really legitimately had concussion. That happened like a couple weeks later on Dynamite. So outside of that, I don't understand why he's this high. Well, he was. Did he win? No, hold on. He was IWGP champion. I forgot about that.
It was.
I did. Again, I don't. Again. Maybe not top. Maybe 30. Probably like 25. Maybe. But again, he's not number 8. I think we can all agree on that. So I forgot about the IWGP championship reign. And at one point he was the most important guy on AEW TV with that title, because at one point Moxley was more important than Swerve when Swerve first got the title. So I did forget about that. But again, 8, way too fucking high.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm not the biggest John Moxley fan either. I think sloppy brawling, he's a def combat guy. I get it, but for a guy who's supposed to be a def combat guy, very sloppy punches and kicks, and just a lot of his stuff is sloppy. Even his blading is sloppy. You catch him in a corner, cutting his forehead, and it's like, come on, man. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? But yeah, and his rambling promo.
I'm John Moxley.
And the
Again, it has nothing to do with how this list is constructed.
Yeah, but I'm just stating my case, bro. I
get you.
But I'll give Moxley his credit. See, I gotta break him down a little bit to show why I am unbiased.
It's so hot in here. Or was it just me? Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Moxley is. You book him, you send him wherever you need to send him to. He shows up. He's reliable. He does what he has to do.
He's a company guy.
When somebody fucks up, he's the guy you call. He's got the championship. and he's doing what he's got to do between AEW and New Japan. So I'll give Moxley credit as far as like he has an ethic and he will be there, and he's willing to do the wacky shit to put his body on the line and shit like that. So got to give him his credit. And yeah, definitely without a doubt, the fact that he was IWGP champion recently is probably a piece of why he's on this list
Yeah.
so high. So
I don't agree. I don't agree with him being number 8 though. But,
me neither. Me neither.
yeah.
Ruben, what do you think?
Way too damn high on this list. Yeah, he was, IWGP champion. Like, and again, it shows that a lot of times Tony Khan puts everything else over, but belts and stars in his own company. But that's another topic. But John Moxley is reliable. He's a company man, for better or worse. So I get that, but still too high on the list. Him blading, him just I just don't get the hype. It's like when he was in WWE, oh, he sucks. He's in AEW, oh my god, he's the second coming of Jesus Christ. So it's like this bias and the blinders that people have with Moxley. You know, I don't agree, and I also don't agree that he should be this high on the list regardless. Way too damn high. Someone was high putting certain people on this list, but that's another topic for another day.
Did he win something in Mexico? I don't remember. But even at that, it's still too high. I'm just trying to like think of like what could get him this high on the list. But yeah,
Someone's bank account got high. That's probably what happened.
Yeah,
It's like, oh dear.
he probably got herpes in Mexico. Number 7,
Oh,
MJF.
Jesus Christ.
God damn.
Yeah, I agree with MJ being that high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
number 7.
Yeah, can't really scoff at that too much. The longest reigning AEW champion in company history. He's MJF. What can I say? Yeah, I got nothing else to add.
Yeah.
What do you
Pretty
think,
much
RJ?
agree.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, he had a good run last year. This champion
He was
was
gone
lengthy and
for a huge bulk of that time too. So
yeah. I mean, MJF is MJF. He's gonna do what he has to do, and he's always a top guy, always involved in a lot of stuff. So yeah, no, to me, it's valid. Him being this high is valid in my opinion. So
Number 6, Damian Priest.
agree. Even though kind of shit like on his time, he was so for this list, right? The Intercontinental Championship is not as important as the World Heavyweight Championship, and Damian Priest was the World Heavyweight Championship or World Heavyweight Champion over Gunther. So I agree. Now 6, I got to hear the rest here, but I may have Gunther maybe at 5 and Damian Priest where he's at 6. But again, I got to hear the rest of the list. I know Cody hasn't been mentioned yet. Ospreay, Rollins, Swerve. I mean, no, those names are up there for sure. So maybe Naito. So that's probably gonna be top 5. So
Yeah, he was a world champion, Money in the Bank holder, but again, like you said, I'm gonna have to see the rest of the list, but I don't know if I'd have him at 6 though. Seems a little bit too high. I mean, accomplishments alone, and we're going on accomplishments for this list.
quiet competition, like he's had competition. I mean, he's
Yeah,
had great competition. So
he should be in the top 10 because he met the criteria for the evaluation.
yeah.
I just don't know if I have him at 6 over Gunther or even MJF. But yeah, what do you guys think, Ruben?
I mean, yeah, he was world heavyweight champion. He was in besides the Bloodline, one of the like biggest factions on Raw. In WWE, like he was featured prominently, with the Judgment Day stable, excuse me. And he was featured, and when he got the World Heavyweight belt, um, elevated him, and then as a result, even though he's no longer champion, he became a bigger star as a result. So yeah, with Priest, probably, yeah, I could see him being number 6, maybe number 7, number 8, but yeah, him being this high, it does make sense since he was world heavyweight champion. But yeah, and he's again, Damien Priest is awesome. And I was one of the ones that was like very just like concerned, like wasn't feeling him, winning, but he definitely changed my mind. So yeah, I definitely agree.
RJ, what do you think?
Yeah, Priest had a good run, good year. I just I would have switched him and him for Gunther though. I don't think Priest's year beats out Gunther's. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Especially what Gunther was able to do with the IC championship, and I mean, towards
but if you want to really want to look at it, in defense of Damian Priest, always on TV, always vital to whatever was going on Monday Night Raw. We may not agree with what was going on with them and Judgment Day or whatnot, but I think to the show, he was more important than Gunther. I probably still have Gunther higher if it were my list, but I'm just saying what they're evaluating, that's probably what they're taking account of as well.
yeah,
good point.
God damn it, Justin, you stole my thunder. I was gonna get there, but no, I definitely agree. Because sometimes with Priest, it looked like maybe he was up and down a little bit there, whereas Gunther's booking was more strong, obviously with the streak and everything like that. But you're right, he was a key piece of the show. Opened, closed it, was in the middle of it.
Yep.
Definitely, Raw was built around him and the rest of the Judgment Day. The longest time for the longest
title
time.
reigns and just the
Money in the
Money
Bank.
Bank briefcase. Yeah, like it's the WrestleMania cash in. Like he's the second person to ever do that. So it's like his match qualities wasn't again part of the of this criteria for the list. Like match qualities was good, really good.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
For the most part,
Absolutely.
there were some kind of questionable ones, but for the most part, they were good.
Right. Number 5, Naito.
I love Naito.
Me too.
I love
One of my
Naito, but
favorites.
I disagree with this.
Yeah, I don't think he's had his. I don't think he's had his best.
He's not the same. He's
run.
not the same Naito no more. He's like so broken down.
Yeah.
For
He is
storyline
very true.
purposes, him winning the title, he won title twice during the time period. He's definitely top 10. I would probably have him like number 9 or 10, something like that. I
Mhm.
just think he's too high.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely
Gunther should
agree.
be in this spot, like definitely.
He, sh-
And
he should be. He should be, and that's coming from
I
a
think
big
he's a
Naito
five,
fan.
for sure.
Like Naito hasn't had the best performances. Obviously, he's beaten down. He's broken down with injury. And I think Naito might need to go ahead and call it a career soon. Maybe pass the torch to Suji.
He's my favorite out of Okada, out of Tanahashi.
And two,
He's my favorite, man.
he just had the attitude. Him and Nakamura, they just had, especially after his excursion.
Their charisma alone.
Yeah, like after his excursion, he came back. Ironically, he got the rub from Rushin Andrade, and then like like he was just a different man, and it was great. The confidence and arrogance,
gaining the Intercontinental Championship and like physically breaking it and dragging it. Oh my god, 2017, I was hooked on fucking Naito, man.
Yeah, because that was the belt that pushed him out of his main event, and that was a good story for people who say New Japan don't tell good stories.
It was a tremendous story, man.
For people who say New Japan is just all wrestling and they tell no stories, you guys have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Because that was a great saga. Him versus the Intercontinental title, and why he hated it, and why he hated it.
He tried to pawn it off.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, tried to pawn it off. Yeah, that was great.
Fantastic.
Ruben, what do you think?
Naito's dope. He is so fun to watch.
Mhm.
That dude doesn't like he does not give a fuck when he's just out
You're right.
there. Uh,
Tranquilo.
yeah, like I like he was one of the first New Japan wrestlers that I like discovered back in 20 believe 2017, 2018 around that time just when I got back into wrestling. So it was just refreshing seeing Naito. As far as him being so high on the list, uh, it's tough. I mean, again, not my list, but um, yeah, I'm just Slaughter two lower, but yeah, like he's dope. But this high, it's debatable.
Yep.
All right, so we're in the fours. I have a feeling. I already know. Again, I already know what the top three are, but I have a feeling what four is. Four is Seth Rollins.
I have no issue with that.
Either.
World Heavyweight Champion,
Yeah.
backbone Monday Night Raw, putting on great matches, literally breaking himself. Like I have no issue with this at
Right.
all. I'm assuming top three is I mean we obviously know Cody, but Swerve and Osprey.
No.
Who the fuck
No,
else
obvious.
was that? What are we gonna say?
It's
Like,
ob-
oh, it's Charlie Dempsey,
I mean,
Alan Angel. Like,
you never
we know what the top three is.
Robert Martyr. You never know.
Like,
Robert Martyr might have had a big year.
Robert
we know
Martyr.
who the top three is. We know Cody's number one. Just I don't know who
Spoilers.
number two and number three is. So
Come on, man. Spoilers, bro.
God.
just saying.
But yeah, Rollins. Whatever you want to say about Rollins, if you don't like the getup, if you don't like him coming out dressing like he raided Elton John's closet, fine. But when that bell rings, Rollins is ready to go. He's a wrestling
yeah.
machine. The guy can have a good match with anybody. So, I'm probably I don't want to say probably, but I defend Rollins. I'm a Rollins defender. I like his matches. The guy never has a bad match. But yeah, he deserves to be in the top five. Like it's not really debatable. What do you Ruben, what do you think?
Yeah, him being number four, being in the top five, no complaints. Uh, Dude, like literally carried Monday Night Raw as World Heavyweight Champ. He was involved in the Bloodline story, helping out Cody and all that. Just just amazing feuds all around, amazing matches all around. And yeah, his attire is questionable. Maybe like dresses in the dark, raids Becky Lynch's wardrobe by accident. But regardless, he's awesome what he does. Um, I'm glad he was back until Bronson Reed, squashed him to the Shadow Realm. But yeah, like he had Raw on his back. He had that world title on his back as the inaugural champion. So no complaints from me.
And not to mention the WrestleMania build by itself too. So a lot of people already forget on how important it was for that WrestleMania build.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
night one of WrestleMania main event. Very next night, wrestles Damian Hurt, and then comes out the end of the night and takes that Superman punch, and you just see his leg bent, which is just like the human body's not supposed to bend that way. Jesus Christ. But RJ, what do you think?
My man, Rollins definitely he was working hurt. That's another thing too. Worked hurt, heavyweight champion. He was pressing forward though, trying to put on the best performances that he possibly could. Um, yeah, I don't rag on Rollins as much as our fellow podcasters do. To give Rollins a hard time. I could do without the outfits, but whatever's whatever. I try to pay attention to what more so is he's doing in the ring. And Rollins to me is not a bad performer. Actually, he's really good. And a lot of his matches, by the time they're over, you're like, God damn, Seth, you did it again, brother. You did it
Yep.
again, brother. So nah, he definitely deserves to be here on this list. Heavyweight champion for most of the year. Like you guys said, big part of the WrestleMania built up this year. Pulled double duty, still pulled out a decent match with Drew. hurt, where he's clearly hurt, and did what he needed to do in order to get ready for that. And like you said, Ruben put over Bronson Reed big time on the way out. So yeah, Seth Rollins definitely deserves to be on this list. Ultimate company guy for the E, and puts his body on the line for them every single time he steps through that curtain and through those ropes with gear on.
Number 3, Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking Will Ospreay, man. He's one of the best pro wrestlers in the world. Just way the matches they was having over there in New Japan. Has a little bit of a layoff, comes over to AEW, and the incredible matches that the quality of competition, and he's he is the international champion too as well. So I mean, one of the top guys in AEW too as well. Totally agree with this. You can put him at 2. You can put him at 1. I don't disagree with the top 3.
Yeah.
Definitely top 10 material, top 5 material. I would put Rollins over him, but that's just me. And I like Ospreay. I've said it time and time again. I like Ospreay. I like it better when he works with guys that know how to work. But I'm not gonna really get into that too much. But this makes sense. I can't really argue with it too much, but I would probably put Rollins over him. But that's just me. What do you guys think, Ruben?
Yeah, I have no issue with Osprey being top 3. Again, dude wrestles his ass off. People love him. He is he is a champion in AEW. He was turned up in Japan before he was signed to AEW. So no complaints. Just overall, just wrestling machine. Overall wrestling, like just one of the best out there. Yeah, top 3. Have no complaints with him being top 3.
RJ, what do you think?
Yeah, Osprey is one of my favorites right now, like top 5 in my personal list. I think he's a great hybrid wrestler. He can do the flips, hard hitting as fuck.
The hidden blade is like fucking one of the most brutal finishers that can go wrong anytime.
Oh man, he's got the hidden blade. He's got the os cutter, storm break. Like he's got so many moves in his bag, bro. Like Osprey is really, really good, and he got that stank off of him of just being a flippy guy, man. And I'm glad that he did, because he's really fun to watch. And I think it's unfair that people still will only classify him as a flippy dippy guy, and that he doesn't do anything else. And that's the only kind of match he can have is the video game match, quote unquote. It goes to show that they really don't pay attention when people say that.
And
People show
top
they're
that
ignorant.
too, like he's a great storyteller too. He can sell his ass off.
Well, yeah, and I got to give him credit for this too. On his way out of Japan, he put over the Bullet Club War Dogs, who, to me, aren't even worth a rub.
Yeah, New
Those
Japan's in
guys
fucking disarray right now, man.
fucking suck. The Bullet Club
And
War
I like
Dogs.
Finley. I like Finley, but everyone else is like this is not Bullet Club to me.
Yeah, I don't even think Finley's the best guy in this group. I would put Gabe. At least Gabe Kidd tries to be controversial. To me, that I don't know, kind of the spirit of Tama Tonga and some of the other guys that led Bullet Club a little bit of a rebel. But Clark Connors is boring, and
He is.
Coughlin was just a big giant jamoke looking like fucking Tom. No, not Tom Welling. What's the fucking guy's name? Superman. When he had the mustache and Mission Impossible, he looks
Henry
like
Cavill.
yeah, Henry Cavill. He looks like a knockoff version of that. He sucks, and the other guys they just suck. But Osprey put them over big time in that big cage match that he had, his last match there. He put them over really strong. And United Empire, he started United Empire, ended it off nicely, put it in the nice hands of TJP and Hanare. So they got that going over there. He left a legacy over there earlier this year. And AEW just putting on really good matches and everything like that. International champion.
I
The
mean,
belt.
arguably,
Mhm.
all these pay-per-view matches have been 5-star worthy. Arguably, so
Yeah, no, and I agree. I think that he's, when in doubt, send Will out, and he will get you a 5-star, good quality match. No, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree. No, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm not a glazer. Like I ain't gonna glaze the guy. I ain't got posters of him all over my wall or anything like that. But I do like his in-ring work, and I think he's truly one of the best in the world. And I think this spot is very, very warranted for him. And I would argue that shit. As much as I love Swerve, I would argue that maybe he trumps Swerve, but that's just me personally.
Ruben, what do you think, bro?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I think I already said my piece with Osprey before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, Swerve Strickland.
I'll say this. I'll
go
say this real quick. I'm not gonna be long. Deservedly so. Title reign beginning more Tony Khan's fault, right? But out of everybody on this list, probably him and Will Ospreay are the two guys I've been going back and watching matches of the most this year. Because a lot of their matches have just been so either exciting or fun to watch or controversial and things of that nature. Swerve and, obviously his title reign just ended, but like he's fan-fucking-tastic. Fan-fucking-tastic.
I can't argue.
Deservedly so to be number 2.
I can't argue with the placement. I like Swerve. I've always liked Swerve. I liked him when he was in NXT, and I was always baffled as to why this guy wasn't higher on the card. Gets to AEW, gets pushed, and they realize that this guy's a star. So, when he became champion, yeah, that was Tony Khan's booking and not necessarily Swerve's fault. But yeah, he puts on good matches. Not crazy about a lot of the deathmatch stuff, even though I did like the most recent one. But yeah, he's had good matches. He had a good match with Ospreay at one of the pay-per-views. He had, a great match with Danielson at All In. So yeah, the guy deservingly belongs in the top 5, top 3, however you want to view it. So yeah, this makes sense. This is fine. I'm fine with this. Any thoughts, Ruben?
Yeah, him being number 2 again with this list criteria, I get why he's in number 2. He's, his, just the fact that he, his run was like so far has been, incredible. Feuds have been, just out of this world. I I'll probably put Will Ospreay over Swerve, but that's just me. But yeah, he was world heavyweight champ. Beginning was a little, just a little bit on Tony Khan's part. Just mismanaged and with Swerve's title reign in the beginning, but he, again pulled it through towards the end. And yeah, I'm happy for Swerve. I'm happy for everything he's been doing, but with this list and its criteria, I can see why he's number 2. I'll have him number 3, just personally.
And RJ, what do you think?
Swerve, loved him ever since I saw him in CZW back in the day. Shane Strickland, and then went to he had his run in Lucha Underground as Kill Shot, and like just been a fan of his ever since because he's another guy that's a great hybrid wrestler. He's a high flyer. He hits hard, and all his moves are like very innovative. Him and AR Fox, after Ricochet, everybody glazes over like Ricochet and Pac, and rightfully so, and Osprey. But I don't think Shane Strickland and AR Fox get their credit. But yeah, no, following his career in NXT and into AEW has been really, really fun for me personally because, like I said, been a fan of his for a long time, and I'm happy to see where he's at today. He wears AEW on his back. He was the heavyweight champion. Got the Prince Nana helped got his theme song and the dance over.
That was during that time period too. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't give him credit for this because I've heard other podcasters, he doesn't present himself well as a champion and all this other stuff. But But Swerve brings rappers and mainstream guys to like shows, and he does interviews and he does collaborations with mainstream rappers like Bun B,
Yeah.
like the one of the underground kings, bro. Like how can you be a hip hop fan and not know who Bun B is? And like he just he does a lot
He's
for
one of the few people from Houston I actually like.
yeah, I know, right? Like
That says a lot.
Bun B is great, but uh, but Swerve is a guy that's always trying to get attention on AEW from a different perspective, because you're gonna have your nerds that are gonna be there already. You're gonna have us wrestling fans that are gonna be there already, but he tries to go out and get other people from the rap community and stuff like that to come to the shows and stuff like that. I think Swerve does do his part to bring the culture into wrestling and everything like that. And like I said, man, it's wonderful to see how far he's come over the years. He definitely deserves everything that he's got going on for him right now. That's why when everybody's bitching about his contract, I'm like, why are you bitching about the money this man getting? He earned it. It's not like he just showed up yesterday and got paid $12 million for fucking 5 years. Like, come on, let's sit here and pretend like he didn't earn that. Like, come on, like.
Right.
And if the Tony Khan's cutting the check, then like, come on, who cares?
Yeah, I don't.
Apparently, he's got more money than God. So
I don't know. I don't give people shit for money. Like if you want to pay me $12 million, I'm not going to scoff at that. I'm going to take the $12 million. Like I'm fine with it. If Swerve is out there getting paid, let him get paid. The guy's earned it. Fuck it. Who cares? Ruben, what do you think? Or did I already ask you about Swerve?
Yes, you did.
Okay. We got one more. Dun 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 dun. Cody Rhodes. Number one.
I'll keep it short. Fully agree. He's the number one guy in pro wrestling, number one draw, number one merch seller. He has he's leading the biggest company in the world with the one of the highest periods in the company's history, making the most money. You know, helping the company make the most money in this company's history. He's the guy, 100%.
He's Captain. He's Captain America. He's over. His merch sells. People love him. Say what you want about his title reign. The chase for the past 2 years has been great. He puts on good matches. People love him. People chant the theme song. People buy his merch. He signs autographs. He is a company guy to the fullest extent. You see him do Make-A-Wish visits. You see him after the shows, and I've been there in person. Like after the shows, he'll sign autographs and take pictures with everybody, literally until everybody leaves the building. So he deserves to be in this number one spot.
I've seen that myself.
Yeah. What else can we say that hasn't already been said 1,000 times? But what do you think, Ruben?
I agree. Just the fact that he is a top guy in the biggest wrestling company in the world. He was a part of the Bloodline storyline, which was again biggest storyline in company history. Top guy, top merch seller, classy guy. He will literally stay behind and sign, just meet, greet with fans, sign autographs after the shows. The company is literally put on his back after winning, the WWE title. And, he's, him being number one, no complaints, just for all the reasons that we've stated.
All right. And RJ, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, Cody Rhodes leading the pack right now, ultimate company guy. Wherever they need Cody to go, Cody's there. Cody was involved in the big story, obviously with the finishing the story, the chase to the title. Was involved in WrestleMania main events, back-to-back nights. The current champion, his championship reign not too great, not too hot right now. That can always change down the line. Feels like it's fluff at this point, but I'm gonna gonna wait and see what happens there before we all give our full judgment on it overall. It's not done yet, but I think Cody is definitely the guy to have this spot for sure. I can't argue with that whatsoever. And like I said, he's leading the pack right now. And as Justin said, they're selling out shows and selling out arenas, and merchandise is just absolutely crazy. And to point it out that Cody's a good guy, man, and he's once again, Drew, I saw what you saw. Saw it in March. Cody Rhodes stayed a whole hour after that show was done in Charleston to sign autographs for everybody, including my neighbor who lives down the dirt road. Has the autograph of Cody Rhodes on his wall, and that little boy loves him some Cody Rhodes. I'm gonna get him a Cody Rhodes shirt this weekend. So when we go to SmackDown next month, he can have that. So I mean, Cody Rhodes, ultimate good guy, and yeah, man, definitely deserves this number one spot. Definitely does.
So that was our thoughts on the top 25. I'm just kind of looking over this list to see who else went elsewhere.
Well,
Logan
I mean, I still have the thing here.
Right, Logan Paul was 37. Let's see.
I say, please don't say a name that's on my. You already said a name that's on my list. You already said Logan Paul.
Oh, okay. I forgot. Go.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like you're already like you're going through my shtick here.
My bad. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to steal your thunder. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna make it. We'll make it quick. I know it's getting late here, but I'm just gonna name 2 names off, right? And we'll just guess on who's higher on the list. Okay. Obviously, I know because I made the thing here, but yeah, and if we want to discuss it, we can. But yeah. So first names here: Darby Allin and Chad Gable. Who is ranked higher?
Um,
I'll let y'all each go.
Darby Allin.
Darby Allin, all right. From Ruben, Drew,
Darby Allin.
and RJ.
Darby.
Chad Gable's ranked higher than Darby Allin. Chad Gable's
Wow,
ranked 89. Yeah, Chad Gable's ranked 89. Darby Allin's ranked 97. Some of these are not going to be like, too obvious. So I also have like some joke ones in here just for funny, haha. So, next, Obafemi, Jack Perry.
This pains me to say this, but I have a feeling Jack Perry's ranked higher.
Okay. Ruben?
I'm gonna have to say
Obafemi, okay. RJ?
My heart wants to say Obafemi, but my mind's telling me the scapegoat.
Scapegoat. All right. Well, for this year, Obafemi is ranked higher than Jack Perry.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, Obafemi's ranked 53. Jack Perry's ranked 59. 59. So
where did you say Oba was?
53. So he was 6 spots higher than Jack Perry.
Interesting.
All right, next one. This is a joke one. You guys are probably not gonna know these guys. I don't even know these guys, but just funny, just all based off name alone. GPA and Robbie X.
Robbie X. Oh my god.
Robbie X. Who do you think's ranked higher? GPA or Robbie X?
I gotta go with my main man, Robbie X.
Okay.
Robbie X sounds like a cool fucking name. I'm gonna go with Robbie X.
All right. And yeah, go ahead.
Robbie X. Yeah. Robbie X. Yeah.
Robbie X is ranked higher. He's 422 and GPA is 430. Next, we have Maki and Baron Corbin. Maki Yes, that Maki and Baron Corbin.
Maki
because they fucking, again, I'm cussing too much. I'm sorry. But yeah, the IWC loves Maki for some reason, so I'm going to say her.
Well, she's cute. She's cute. She says fucking, things like that. So
yeah, she's the fallen idol.
Yeah, pretty much. But you're saying Makito, Drew. I didn't hear y'all's choices.
Yeah,
Maki.
Maki.
Makito.
Maki. Baron Corbin. 453 is Baron Corbin and Makiel's 456. So they were 3 spots apart. But that shows you how close they were. So next one. Hiroshi Tanahashi or Dom Mysterio. Who's ranked
Ooh.
higher?
Be Dom, right?
Dom, come on, let it be Dom.
Yeah, I love Tanahashi, but Tanahashi's best days are behind him. Come on, let's get real, people.
Come on, Dom's paid his debt to society, people.
And Ruben.
Um,
Dom, okay, we are. You're 3 for 3. Dom Mysterio is ranked higher, 69. Believe it or not, 69.
shoulda.
Ooh,
69.
boy.
And Tanahashi's 81. Next,
scumbag Dom at 69.
there you go.
Ooh,
Next,
him and Liv Morgan got ideas.
there you go. I know he saw that. He's like, if he includes that in his promo somehow with 69, that'll be great. But anyway,
Right.
next we have Randy Orton and Carmelo Hayes. Randy
Ooh.
Orton and Carmelo Hayes.
I think Carmelo's had more matches,
Mhm.
Right.
so I'm gonna say Mello.
Yeah, Mello. I'm gonna go
Mello.
Mello.
Ruben.
I'll say Randy.
Going with Randy. Okay. So this time around, it is Carmelo Hayes, rank 48, and Randy Orton, rank 55. All righty. We're ready for another joke one. This is going to be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Next on the list here, we have Hoodfoot and Starboy Charlie. Out of those names, who do you think is ranked higher? Hoodfoot or Starboy Charlie?
Hoodfoot
Yeah, Hoodfoot.
and Starboy Charlie.
Yeah.
That's got Shindy written all over it, but Starboy Charlie.
Okay.
Starboy Charlie.
Yeah.
Is that your choice? Is that your choice, Drew? You're going with Starboy?
I'm going with Starboy Charlie for the win.
Okay.
Same.
It's Hoodfoot. Hoodfoot is ranked 164. Starboy Charlie 173.
My gut told me Hoodfoot. God damn it!
I
It was
know.
Hoodfoot.
The hood and the foot, right? Next one. This is gonna make some people upset. Wardlow or Brian Cage. Now, the fact that we have to think about if Wardlow's higher than Brian Cage or vice versa, it's pretty sad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Wardlow, I don't. Last I saw, he was kind of barely used. So I'm gonna say Brian Cage because I don't fucking know Brian Cage.
Yeah, at least Cage gets TV time, so yeah, I gotta go with Cage.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter either. Both guys are on their backs looking up at the ceiling, anyways. So
Yeah.
Ruben?
I'll say Brian Cage.
Brian Cage. Yeah, Brian Cage. He is ranked higher. Not so far apart, though. 243 for Brian Cage, 246 for Wardlow. Next, we got a couple of tag team wrestlers here. Tommaso Ciampa or Giant Gargano?
It's be Gargano because they love Gargano more than Ciampa.
Yeah, Gargano.
I like Ciampa over Gargano personally, but everybody loves Gargano. Black and gold, black and gold. Ooh, I just came in my pants.
I'd say Gargano.
Gargano is ranked higher. 259 for Gargano, 265 for Tommaso Ciampa. They are 6 apart. Next, we still got a few more to go here.
Mm-hmm.
Big Bronson Reed or Masha Slamovich?
Probably Masha, right? Because
probably Masha.
Masha wrestles a lot of men. For whatever reason, TNA doesn't use Masha, right? But Masha Slamovich is a badass, and Bronson Reed hasn't gotten hot until recently, so I can see Masha being over him. But you know what though? I wouldn't even bat an eye though. I ain't gonna be mad at that. I like Masha Slamovich. I think she's great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Drew, you said Masha. RJ, you said Masha. Ruben, who's your pick?
Bronson.
Bronson Reed. For this time around, it is Masha Slamovich. She's
Yeah.
ranked 118, and Bronson Reed's ranked 144. So kind of wild there. Next, we have another one of these ones here, man. Sonny Kiss or Ricky Starks.
I didn't even know Sonny Kiss still wrestles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wrestles a part of what's her name? Ariane's Pop That Pussy group.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Isn't that what it's called?
Wait, what?
I think it's something of that nature. Yes, I don't know the exact name, but yeah.
she's got a promotion with some type of derogatory
But,
fucking, you know.
Is that an actual group or is that something RJ just made up?
No, I'm not kidding. She's got her own promotion.
He's not bullshitting. He's definitely not.
Mish is in the chat room saying it's real.
I know it's real. Yeah, not
God Almighty, man. Fuck, man.
Back that ass up promotion.
I'll say this, Christ, mate.
Oh my god.
You know, just for that alone, I'm gonna say Sonny Kiss.
Yeah, he's had more TV time than not more TV time, but he's been more seen than Ricky Starks. Because goddamn AEW, you know, Tony Khan's allergic to money.
Yeah. So you're going with the Sonny Kiss as well?
I'm going with Sonny Kiss. At least Sonny Kiss, he fits the back that ass promotion up.
Jesus Christ.
My God, it's
Ruben,
disturbing sometimes.
Who's your pick?
I'm just for the laws. I'm gonna go with Sonny Kiss.
Sonny Kiss. It's actually Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks. But
no.
But here's the thing. See, Ricky Starks 352 to Sonny Kiss 372. So that shows you how falling off Ricky Starks is in AEW.
I'm surprised he's that low.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I saw that, I was like, what the fuck? Okay, I was like, that's a good one there. Next. This is I planned this out very well, kind of with the Gargano, you know what I mean? Kind of with with this one here. Zilla Fatu or Lance and Hawaii. Who's ranked higher?
I'd say Zilla Fatu.
Zilla. Lance barely gets booked. I kind of feel bad for him. He feels like the black sheep of the family. Like he barely gets any burn. To be honest with you, though, he's not. I don't find him to be overly oppressive, anyways. At least like Zilla has, like, as green as he is, he has presence, and if he can polish it all up, he's gonna be a monster, man.
Oh,
and he's a big kid too.
Yeah.
So
One of my kind of off topic. I had someone that came in my shop because Zilla lives in Houston. I had a guy that was visiting from Houston on work, and he was like, "Oh man, do you got any Umaga figures?" I was like, "Nah." Unfortunately, he's like, "Do you know who Zilla is? Zilla Fatu?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, definitely aware of him, follow him, seeing some of his stuff. He's pretty good. He's like, "Oh, that's my best friend." I'm like, "Oh shit." so yeah, he showed me like a picture of it, like him, like them hanging out. I was like, "Oh shit, small world." But Zilla Fatu or Lance and Hawaii. RJ, you picked Zilla, and Drew, you picked Zilla too, right?
Zilla, yeah.
And Ruben, what about you?
Zilla.
Actually, it's Lance. Lance is 324 to Zilla's 339.
Oh,
I don't necessarily agree with that. But
the fuck?
So on a side note, Mish just shared the poster for Pound Town Wrestling, which is
That's what they call Pound Town. See, I wasn't too far off.
I remember that.
Pop that pussy promotions.
Pop that pussy promotion.
Oh, geez.
I think RJ just wants to say "pop that pussy." Just
yeah. Anyway,
hey, Shannon Sharp pussy earlier.
We're moving from Pound Town to. I don't really have any. I don't really have a good segue with this, but next year
I will buy a ticket. I will buy a ticket to Pop.
I think we all will.
I'm there. I'm in the front row,
man. You get all the perks, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh my God!
Definitely
in more ways than one, my friend.
Right. Next, we have All Ego Ethan Page and the Deathmatch King Matt Cardona. Who's ranked higher?
I would say Cardona.
You know what though? I'm gonna say this though. Because Cardona was hurt, right? He was hurt during some of this period.
He's hurt now.
Yeah, he's hurt now. So I wouldn't be surprised if Paige actually was higher than him. All things
Now
considered,
Matt Cardone's he's still in the shows.
yeah, he's still doing his thing.
He's not wrestling, but he's still there. So
Yeah, he's
there's
like
that.
the GM of GCW, and he's doing
Yeah.
stuff with Impact right now. So yeah, no, he's not sitting on his ass though. Like he's still out there. But
All
I
right.
think I think they're gonna slip Ethan Page above him though.
Okay.
I'm hey, I could be wrong, but
No, yeah. So Drew's Cardona, RJ's Ethan Page. You're the tiebreaker, Ruben.
Ethan Page.
So by 2 positions apart,
mhm.
Ethan Page is on top of Matt Cardona. 75 Ethan Page, 77 Matt Cardona.
Wow. And Ethan Page barely did shit before he left AEW Ring of Honor. So
Yeah. All righty. So a few more here. This is a joke one. We're bringing back another joke one here.
Nice.
Well, last time we had Hoodfoot and Starboy Charlie. Well, these names, these are even better names. So the next names here is Slice Boogie
Oh, my boy Slice Boogie. I love him.
and the Truck Man.
Nah, man, Slice
That's literally his name, the Truck Man. Who's ranked higher?
Slice Boogie for sure. Like Slice Boogie is actually a pretty good big man.
Walking down the aisle, the Truck Man.
Truck man.
Oh God! You know what? It's Slice Boogie. I don't even know who that is. I'm going with Slice Boogie.
Slice Boogie and Ruben.
Slice.
Y'all have a sweep. Slice Boogie is ranked higher than the Truck Man. 309 for Slice Boogie. 323 for the Truck Man.
You know,
So
Slice,
Truck Man is in the same area as the Truck Man. So
yeah,
next,
I never seen the Truck Man's work before, but Slice Boogie, I can vouch for him. Slice Boogie is a really good big man.
maybe I'll check him out sometime.
He was in MLW when Conan tried to bring back LAX. Like they were the third version of LAX. Him and
okay.
him and Radioactive Poppy there. What's his name?
Jesus, I forget.
Yeah,
I know you're talking
Danny
about
Limelight. Danny Limelight.
Oh, Danny Limelight. Yeah. I saw he was like in the low 100s. He was like 190 or high 100s, how you want to look at it, like 190 something, I think, on this list. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right, next. We got Xavier Woods and Trent Seven.
Oh God. I don't even know what Trent Seven's doing, so I'm gonna go with Xavier Woods.
Okay.
I'm gonna shock people. I think Trent Seven. Because Seven, Progress Wrestling, a lot of European stuff. He's made some shots in AEW and has been teaming up with Speedball and TNA. So whereas Xavier Woods, I know he's involved in something juicy currently, but earlier this year, into the summertime where, a lot
He
of
was
the
off
stuff is
TV.
taking place. Yeah, he was not on TV, so I'm gonna go with Seven.
Okay. Rube.
Xavier.
Xavier. Okay.
Mhm.
So a position of one off. So one was ranked higher. One was at 299. One was at 298. The guy that was at 299 was Xavier Woods. 298 was Trent Seven. So Trent Seven ranked higher.
Yeah.
So don't agree with it, but whatever. Next, we got some very low class boys. Like, luckily, I know who one of these guys are, and I think RJ, I'm pretty sure you will know, and Ruben will probably know too. I don't. Maybe Drew, maybe will know. Just by what is on social media. Memes. That's his name. Memes.
Memes?
This whole thing is for the memes right now. So
MEMES memes.
MEMES, yes, memes, and Santana Jackson, who's ranked higher. the Michael Jackson wrestler.
Gotta be Santana Jackson, right? I mean, this guy, he's absolutely incredible. Like for a guy who his whole entire gimmick is that he's a Michael Jackson impersonator. he has found the way to implement all of Michael Jackson's famous dance moves into wrestling moves, and it's
It's
incredible.
actually pretty incredible.
And it is, man. And he does it in the same shoes that Michael Jackson used to wear. Like it's crazy. Like what the fuck?
Fuck. I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Santana. I
Santana
don't
Jackson.
don't know who any of these people are, but I'll go with Santana.
Memes. Gotta go with memes.
Gotta go for doing it for the memes, right?
Yeah.
Well, memes is ranked number 500, so he cracked the list. Also, right behind him is Santana Jackson. Santana Jackson wins this round, 498.
Okay. Yeah,
Alright.
because he Santana Jackson does work with JCW,
Yes.
ICP's promotion and stuff like that, and he's in a lot more indies. I've heard of him a couple of times, but Santana Jackson has been a constant for years now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right, so that was the last meme one per se. That's why I did memes last. See, there's a you know what I put all I put all together here. All these names here we should know down this list here. So we got 6 more to go here. Next, we got Logan Paul and Speedball Mike Bailey. Who's ranked higher?
I think Mike Bailey might be ranked higher.
it'd be Logan Paul, but I agree. I think they love him way too much for a guy who has zero personality, in my opinion.
He's so fucking good though.
Yeah, no, he is though. No, he is. He's very innovative. I give him that. He's a great wrestler.
I totally agree with you. He has much character as a fucking a wall paint white.
Oh my god, he's got much character as this rubber bowl I'm looking at right now. Like, come on,
There you go. Ruben,
a fucking bullet dildo has more character to him.
Christ, mate.
Come on.
God damn.
Ruben,
Bailey.
who's your pick?
Mike Bailey.
Mike Bailey is ranked higher. He's number 34. Logan Paul's number 37. So they're very close to each other. Well, I wouldn't mind seeing a match between those two, actually. Next, we got QT Marshall
Oh, good lord.
and Danhausen.
Oh god.
Who's ranked higher?
Oh my god. QT
Danhausen.
Kevin James.
Say that again.
I got QT James.
Oh, QT Marshall. Okay. Drew.
Looks like Kevin James. He looks like Kevin James a little bit, but he looks like he raided Charlie Sheen's closet from 2.5 Men. Like, come on.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
He looks like if Kevin James had sex with Charlie Sheen
Oh,
and
God.
they gave birth to Jeff Lippman.
What? Oh, shit. Not Unc. Not Unc.
Nice, mate.
I love my Uncle Jeff.
Oh god, I'm gonna get an angry
Oh.
message tomorrow.
Oh, you bet your sweet ass you will.
So who's your decision?
Hey, me and Jeff rag on each other all the time. He'll think it's funny. He'll complain to me and then he'll think it's funny. I got some docking no one wants to see. Mish. I forgot. Danhausen.
Okay, QT Marshall and Danhausen. Yes. Okay, you got Danhausen. RJ, you got QT. Ruben, you're a tiebreaker.
Danhausen.
Danhausen's ranked higher, 203 to QT Marshall's 206. All right, we got 4 left here.
Okay.
Next, Josh Alexander
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good
or
lord.
say his name and he appears.
Oh, my
I
God.
believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry. Who's ranked higher?
So it doesn't matter if he's big in London and Scotland and Mexico or Paris or. It's too late. I can't think of the lyrics. I'm gonna say Josh Alexander is ranked higher.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna say Alec because they love that fucking guy. I think he's boring. Monty calls him what he calls him? Third rate Kurt Angle, third rate Canadian Kurt Angle, and I kind of agree too. But yeah, nah, he's got no personality, no charisma, dry as toast. At least Joe Hendry has a gimmick and has been captivating. I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that Hendry's ranked higher though, based off that alone though.
Okay.
Right.
So your official guess is Hendry or Josh
Mhm.
Alexander?
No, I'm going with Hendry.
Okay, gotcha. Then you went Josh Alexander, Drew. Ruben, who's your pick?
Hendry.
Hendry, okay. So Josh Alexander's ranked higher. 43 for Josh Alexander and 51 for Joe Hendry. So they're right next to each other. All right, 3 left here.
Mm.
This is gonna be fun.
Mm.
Chris Jericho.
Mm.
Oh God. Mm.
Just Bruce Grove just says it all. Chris Jericho or Jacob Fatu.
Oh
If
God.
Jacob Fatu.
do I need to go on another rant?
I think
I'm
you
just
might
saying.
need to.
Look. I'm
No one needs to hear me go on another rant. It's too late. But fuck,
we have to use our brains here. Just use our brains here, and I'm pretty sure we
fuck,
can figure it out.
fuck me sideways. Fuck. It's gonna be Jericho. I have a feeling it's Jericho because fuck me. Why not?
I mean, he's the learning tree.
My dick is a learning tree. Anyways, what do you guys think?
Yeah, they're gonna go with Jericho. Fatu was hidden. He wasn't doing much around the time this list was put together. So yeah, they're gonna go with Jericho. They
All
they
right,
they love him for whatever it's worth.
and Ruben.
Yeah. Oof, that's tough. This is definitely a trick question. It's gonna be Jericho. Like,
So Chris Jericho's ranked higher, 90 for Chris Jericho, 94 for Jacob Fatu. So they weren't that far off. So I don't agree with that. I think Jericho should be ranked lower, but whatever.
Yeah.
All right,
Definitely.
last 2 here. Noam Dar or AJ Francis? Who's ranked higher?
Mm.
English, please. What's going on over there?
No.
The ham sandwich. This potato. I don't know. Noam Dar for a big chunk of the year was featured prominently on TV with the metaphor. AJ Francis, to his credit, knows how to be a heel. He can get the heel stuff. He has the heel stuff down for TNA. Man, I'm gonna say Noam.
And Noam Dar was the Heritage Cup champion for a good chunk of it too. So,
Yeah.
AJ Francis, I give him credit. He's everywhere, everywhere that he can be. He's been champion a few times, and he knows how to stir it up online. I will give him credit for that. And he's another guy like Swerve that will try to intermingle, um, but to a different degree and a lower tier degree. He will try to intermingle some people from the rap game into like wrestling, and he'll bring out certain rappers. Yeah, so I don't. I'm gonna go on a limb and say Francis over Dar.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ruben, who you have?
Francis.
Francis. Okay. Well, ranked 126 to ranked 134. The guy that's ranked higher is AJ Francis.
Mm-hmm.
126 for AJ Francis, 134 for Noam Dar.
Yeah, it just seemed like it fit to me.
Yeah. All right, last one. All right.
Mhm.
We got some names here. First name here is Claudio Castagnoli.
Mm-hmm.
We love Claudio.
Audio.
And Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Who's ranked higher?
I mean, it should be Braun. So I'm gonna go with Braun.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Braun. I love Claudio. To get me wrong, Claudio, Ring of Honor legend, freak of nature, a human horse, like Kevin Owens says. But yeah, you gotta go with Breaker. Breaker's been on TV. He's had more of an upward trajectory. NXT Tag Team Champion with Corbin. Intercontinental Champion, has been on a really good main roster run so far. I like the way Triple H has booked him. He's cooled him off since winning the championship, but up until him winning the championship, he's been booked very, very well, and like I would hope that he would be booked. So I'm gonna go with Breaker over Claudio.
And Ruben, your final pick tonight.
Breaker.
So all three of you guys are going with Breaker.
Oh, got the dog in me.
Well,
Oh,
this is the most shocking one.
oh God.
No
So
fucking way.
one person's at 220,
Uh-huh.
and the other person's at 47.
Uh-huh.
Clio Castagnoli wins.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, I'll take it back. All right.
I love
I want to be
Claudio.
controversial. Sorry. Braun Breaker wins 52 to 57.
Oh, you got me for a second there. I was about to say I love Claudio, but come on now, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Like the first question should have been asked, like, oh, Jericho and AJ Francis and fucking Masha Samovich and Hoodfoot is higher, ranked higher than Braun Breaker.
Oh man, like what?
Yeah. But Braun Breaker is ranked higher than Clio. Breaker was 52. Clio Castagnoli was 57. And that's it. That's it.
That was a list, people. That was 25, and that was the game. It was a fun game. It was a fun show tonight. It is already past midnight over here in San Antonio. It's 12:18. I imagine it's an hour later where Ruben and RJ are at. So thank you,
South Carolina. It's 1:18. And by the way, Mish, welcome to the Carolinas. You're one state above me.
Nice.
Oh, he moved to North Carolina?
Mish, isn't that what you moved to, North Carolina?
Mish is saying, "Oh, you didn't hear." Oh, he's about to breaking news. But yeah, Ruben and RJ, thank you for jumping on. Thank you for staying this late, actually.
Well, we still have a good crowd regardless, though, here in the Discord. So, you know.
Oh yeah, we do.
Same like the later we went, more people that came in. So
Kyle, Mish, of course, CM Goof, Maurice Bear, Steve J. Cole. Hope I'm saying that right. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for staying this late for us. But yeah. Just shout out to everybody. Shout out to all of our friends. Shout out to all of our friends who support us, who love us, who share our shit. Thank you. Of course, thank you to Mish. Thank you to Mish who gave us this platform to do this show. It means a lot. It means the world to me whenever I have the supporting of somebody who I deeply respect and love and consider a friend. So thank you, Mish. Thank you, Mish, for giving me this list. We're doing some big changes for all you guys soon. Ooh, I like that. But yeah, thank you for giving me this list to do for the show. It's this list came at a good time. But thank you, Mish, for everything. It means the world to me. And then just shout out to everybody else. Of course, shout out to RJ, Monty, my brothers. Shout out to Ruben, of course, my brother. Jeff Lippman, of course. Unk as RJ would call him.
Yeah, Unk.
And John Draper, Bisho Brian Shaheen, and Kevin Castle, of course. Can't forget about Kevin Castle.
The motherfucking OG.
The OG triple OG. Anthony Mish is saying shout out to Shannon Sharp.
Oh yeah, my man was beating cheeks. I didn't hear about that until I woke up. I was like, my God.
crazy, man.
Skip. Right before I come up, say, come on, Skip.
Someone put this thing in you. I was like, what? Hey, yo.
Let me tell you something, Skip.
Oh man.
Fucking
Our truth was great.
On that podcast, Ocho was like, what he said? He said, "Put this dick on you." So I'm like, oh no, like you can't say that. But anyway,
Our truth said she was begging for it.
Oh my God,
You don't seem out of breath.
Oh man, that shit was funny. That was great.
I loved it. But shout out to everybody, and of course, shout out to Justin, who I say this time and time again, and I say it because I mean it. I wouldn't know what to do without you.
I
The show
appreciate
would be
that.
nothing without you. But Justin, tell the people about Spinebuster Tees.
I'm not gonna do a elaborate spiel tonight. It's late, but find me on Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com. Get yourself any design t-shirt saying, including this one I'm wearing tonight. I'll stand up here. But it's the Rhea Ripley inspired mommy t-shirt designed by yours truly. So go on there, go and pick yourself out a shirt. If you want to come in and come see me in my shop, Spinebuster Tees at the Wonderland of the Americas, aka Crossroads Mall. And also you can follow me on Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. Keep up to date with me on what I'm doing in my journey. I almost had a signing last Sunday. Could still possibly happen, but I'll just say this. Um, they're Latin and they're from America, and they exchange things sometimes. So I'll just let you.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I'll just let you meld over that.
Elliot.
The OGs.
Elliot.
So
Wait, hold on,
I
hold on. Does he
almost,
whistle? Does he whistle?
I almost had them in my shop on for Sunday. Fell through, but possibly could happen at the end of the year. So regardless though, follow me on Instagram for more on that. So, but yeah, Spinebuster Tees and spinebustertees.com.
Yes, sir. Ruben, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter if you're into that kind of thing. Mr. Ruben Prime. Um, our show, the show me and Drew do, Culture Attack. It's on a little hiatus. Just uh, going through some things, personal things, but the show ain't going nowhere. But you can check out Culture Attack, all the archive of everything that me and Drew done so far on YouTube, on TikTok, and Spotify, iTunes. Just search Culture Attack Podcast and just listen to us talk about film, TV, Marvel, and a little bit of wrestling. Um, Definitely, we're gonna be back with it. Definitely be back with the show, but yeah, just taking a little hiatus for the meanwhile. But we'll be back as Arnold Schwarzenegger will say, and yeah, just still want to check me out, Culture Attack Podcast. Want to chat with me personally on Twitter if you want, uh, Mr. Ruben Prime, and thank everyone.
All right, RJ, take us home.
You can follow me on Twitter at Lil RJ Unlimited, where my mouth has no limits on there. So that's the whole deal. And obviously one half of the Brooklyn Power Trip. Now we haven't done a show in a couple weeks. Monty's been doing some side content, and he's been trying to experiment with doing the whole loop of the whole week in wrestling and everything like that. So we haven't done a show together in like this is the second week in a row. But yeah, we got plenty of content and stuff like that. I've been trying to pay attention to some of the lower tier shows like the NXT Level Up and the main event stuff. Trying to educate people on that and why that is kind of important for developmental sake to watch. So yeah, I've been dabbling into that. Um, I have my own show on the side, RJ and the Savage Squad. I just did an episode with one of my friends, Andrew from work, who is training to be a wrestler here in South Carolina. So we was talking about his journey and so far, and the shocking names. Well, not shocking names, but like how many people have come out of this particular academy and who's appeared in Ring of Honor and AEW TV recently. So yeah, that was a very interesting conversation to have, especially with a good friend, a good dude in general, and he deserves to have a chance to uh, train and try to live out a dream. So that was very interesting to have. So check that out if you guys want to. RJ and the Savage Squad show. Also, if you guys are interested, if you guys like WWE 2K24, like that kind of content, but you want original characters, create a wrestler characters. I help run a promotion called CCW, and we've been running it for the last 2 years in 2K form. It was originally a EFED, a pole EFED, but now it's a 2K Fed, and we've been running it, like I said, for the last 2 years. We have content on YouTube and Twitch. The RTJXX is where you can find that. And yeah, join us. We'll be more than happy to have anybody who wants to watch. And we have some spots left open. So if you guys are, want to be a part of the call community, just make a call. Or if you need somebody else to make a call, I have a team behind me to help make them. So yeah, join us. Just shoot me a message and join us. We'll be happy to have anybody that wants to join that has an interest. So yeah, guys like me and Monty and some of our other friends on Twitter uh, are all a part of the roster. So it's no big time wrestlers or anything like that. It's just strictly normal people that you see on Twitter and this, that, and the other. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We have our own storylines and our own original championships and shit like that. So it's really fun process putting all that stuff together.
That
So
sounds super cool, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
it's definitely fun.
yeah. RJ, definitely leave the link for the YouTube channel in the chat, man.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely do that when I get out of here.
All right, and also friendly neighborhood marks.
Yeah,
Sorry.
friendly neighborhood marks as well. We've decided to press forward and rebrand the name. It just rolls off the tongue a whole lot more better. I definitely agree with Drew when he said that. And yeah, we have episodes coming out every other week. We did one last week, and we're gonna be doing another one next week, right, Drew?
Yes, sir.
All right, so yeah, you guys have that to look forward to. I'm all over the place, man. I'm like, I'm not tied down necessarily. I always tell people that the Brooklyn Power Trip show is definitely the #1 priority, but I love doing these side quests with Drew. I love being on the show with you guys. I love just the community that we have over here, the community that Mish helped provide it for all of us, man. So much love to you again, Mish, Kyle, Maurice, everybody that's always rocking with us and supporting us and just encourages us to keep on going. And a lot of the great feedback that you guys give us, and look, I'm a guy that's open to criticism. If I'm doing something wrong, I love to hear that too. But just the fact that you guys take the time to DM me personally and quote one thing that I said in the show that was absolutely ridiculous or hilarious is like that kind of touches my soul a little bit. And it's really cool to have supportive people in your corner. It really is, man. And just to have people, period, who once again, Mish having a platform for a lot of us guys to get together to do stuff like that. It's incredible to be a part of. And I just love doing this stuff with you guys, man. I really do.
And we love
CM Goof, my guy.
and we love having you here. Just I mean, I always tell y'all. I tell Ruben. I tell you, RJ. I tell Jeff. You're always welcome to hop on here. All you gotta do is knock. I mean, we'll leave the door open for you because this is your home too. So, but yeah, we love having you here, RJ, just as much as you love being here. Same to you, Ruben. We love having you here. We love having Jeff here.
Appreciate it.
But that is it, folks. We did over 3 hours. Yikes! But no, it was fun. I say yikes like it was bad, like yikes because we haven't done a 3 hour show in a while. But yeah, it was fun. Great show, great conversation. Much love, people. We are out. So we will see y'all next week, same time, same channel. And what else can I say but peace?
Peace.
Peace.
Each